game. It's not logical, but you contemplate. Are we? Am I?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Game 2. Vancouver Canucks, Edmonton Oilers. It's almost party time, but first we must watch the most exciting moment in television history, the national anthem. Hi guys, everybody. Adam Wylde, nice to see you. Crazy day today, not gonna lie. I see you guys in the chat. Bruins fans, couldn't be me. I do want to say this after the Leafs press conference. I want to say that I'm really glad they decided it's time to go a different direction because the Panthers would have killed them. For everybody who wants to know about the Major League Hockey discussion, you want to hear that right now? I'll just get that out of the way. The reason that you didn't hear it on the podcast today is because we recorded the podcast and then we had to take down the video. And the reason we had to take down the video is because Steve came across some information that brings into doubt, and this has been reported on too by a couple of people this afternoon, that the league even exists. And so that's what happened. No, he was not contacted. By the way, I find it crazy that anybody thought that was an ad. He was legitimately trying to break news and had it from several sources. And he got burned. Happens. It's kind of less exciting than you thought, huh? But that's what happened. So we figured, you know what? Best to take it down. It's what happens. Sometimes you get burned. Rather just tell you the truth, right? It was so funny. I was reading the comments. People were like, "Well, I just can't believe that they're not being upfront about this, dude." The podcast is recorded at like 11 a.m. So we it's not a live show. We didn't know, and this is our first live product since. It's me. Hi, I'm not the problem, and it's not Steve either. Sometimes when you're like what we're trying to do, obviously with what we're doing here is we're trying to become more informed podcasters. Not just yelling about things in my mom's basement. We really want to get into the league and understand how it works and that sort of thing. And what happens is sometimes, like I've been working the small amount of sources I do have a lot this week because the Maple Leafs have had a lot going on, and I've been trying to talk about the board and Shanny and Tree and those guys. And admittedly, like I'm at the very, very start of my career on that. And, I think sometimes you get roasted. You get roasted. It stinks. But for everybody that thought we were hiding anything, I just came out and told you. And no, it wasn't an ad. And no, Steve isn't taking a helicopter to work now with all of his blood money. It's unfortunately way less exciting than that. He got burned by a bad source who, if it were up to me, I don't know who this person is, to be honest with you. But if that happened to me, I'd tell you, I'd never speak to that person again. And it does happen, like I know other instances where it's like, it's just crappy, right? Because you're trying to, I think we were excited because it was like, oh my God, we have a story here. We can actually bring something out. And it was confirmed by multiple people. And then some information came to light and it was like, uh-oh. And I don't know exactly what it is, but I'll tell you that it called into question the league itself. And I think like I said, there's been some reporting on Twitter. I'm sure you'll see it. So anyway, long story short, shit happens. What are you going to do? Got to move on. We're going to keep trying to do things the right way. And the right thing to do is to pull the story. It's like any newspaper, right? You're going to have a retraction section every week. That's ours. Happens. Now let's get to people. What I find hilarious, by the way, is that people thought that the Saudis were like, hey, let's call Steve Dangle and have him launch our league. What? Like, there are so many other things that they could have done. So anyway, that is what it is. It's like I said this on the podcast the other day about Shanny. I've heard some wild rumors about the Leafs this week that I have not said on the show. Believe the most boring rumor you hear about the situation. That's usually the true one. And here's the truth. Burned by a source. Oh, well, pick ourselves up tomorrow and fight another day. That's the only thing you can do. So, yeah. Should we enjoy the game now? Now that it's out of the way? I just at least wanted to talk to you about it. So listen, I'm excited that you're here. It's Friday night. We're going to have a good time. Whoever shows up, let's party. I'm and I'm going to give you a clap for face off. Here we go. And we're off. So I think this is interesting. This is the first point of the game I want to point out. We got Draisaitl, McDavid, Hyman. Is McDavid going without a shot this game? Well, he might have, because he didn't get one last game. Is he going to go without a shot? Sure feels like the Oilers aren't going to let that happen, doesn't it? The Oilers said, or the Oilers felt like they gave the last game away, and I think that's a bit of a disservice to the Canucks. I think if you watch the game, you watch that Connor Garland goal specifically, that's all effort. There was another goal that was Connor Garland that led to a turnover and a forecheck, all effort. So, I know the Oilers are a spectacularly talented team, and I know that they're entitled to feel that way, but I got to be honest. I think Vancouver's a lot better than people are giving them credit for, including myself, who was a non-believer till about December. I didn't believe this. Canucks fans, did you honestly believe this? It was kind of like, this team isn't a whole lot different from last year. Why is it all of a sudden good? But it is. They always had talent. Always had talent. Game started, and I just want to say, so I did the clap earlier, but I will get you a time frame so you can set this. If the Canes get swept again, do they get a new coach GM? Cassie, let's get back to that. I do want to talk about that. Let me just get the time up here. So 1907. There you go. Play has started. So, Carolina. Ooh. If they get swept in this series, swept in the conference finals last year, swept in this, I know that the negotiations between Rod and Carolina, I wouldn't say they're bad, but they're at a standstill. Don Waddell is the general manager there, although Eric Tulsky is his right-hand man, and he's the guy that supposedly has made all the moves. And I do wonder, Tom Dundon doesn't seem like the guy that would make a rash choice. This is a good team that's been knocking, but are they good enough to get past great teams like the Rangers, like the Panthers? And who would you favor in a Bruins series with them? I don't know. Yeah, we got our first shot for Vancouver. Good little shot. This line was just so effective for Vancouver last game. They didn't get a lot of flowers afterwards. The Lindholm line did, and it should. Everybody scored a goal. But I thought that was last game was Pettersson's best game. And he looks more like himself each and every game in the playoffs. Like his first game wasn't great. Let's be honest. Nashville was not great. But better and better and better. We'll see what the Oilers have to do about that. Man, I have to tell you, I was talking to my wife about this today. I freaking love doing these streams with you guys. I had no idea how much I would like it. So it's so cool that 504 people are here watching. I really appreciate you guys being here, especially because it's Friday night and you could have been anywhere in the world. And here we are hanging out, right? Pescaru 7. What's up, Adam? How you doing? I'm good. I'm excited. Is Nikita Zadorov going to go end to end again? Are we going to get some? Goals? Are we going to get a Connor McDavid shot? Ooh, so many things. Adam, does Lance Stroll sign with Aston Martin? If my dad was a billionaire and owned the team I was on, I would imagine that I would have to sign there. Yes. But I think that doesn't tell the whole Lance story. I actually do think Lance Stroll is a very, very good Formula One driver. I think he makes some silly mistakes. He's like Magnussen in that way. Magnussen makes silly mistakes too. You got to remember, Lance won at every single level before Formula One. We still don't have a Connor McDavid shot. Just throwing that out there. Hyman, McDavid, Draisaitl. This is a line that can do some damage. Adam, you got some drinky poos going. Okay, I want to know, is anybody having a drinky poo tonight? Anybody having a little edible? What are we doing? What are we drinking? What are we doing? It's Friday night, guys. You can let loose. I'm not going to let loose on a stream. Not like that. Because if I do that, we might have some real problems over here at SDPN. I don't need that clipped the next day. I don't want to explain that to my daughter in 10 years. Okay? But I got to know. What's in the cup tonight? That should be the game we play. What's in your cup? What are you drinking? There is no clock for this, by the way, but I'll give you the time. 16:55. 16:55 in the first. Drink of choice is a mocha. Jesse had a clock. Well, Jesse has a lot of things like height and slenderness and good looks. Not all of us can have everything. Okay? We got Sapporos. Just opened a Monster. Disturbed me. Are you drinking a Monster? Woo! That would set my stomach on fire. Dio, bone shakers, whiskey cokes, and normal beer. What's a bone shaker? Like the beer bone shaker? Or is that an actual drink? We got a chewy, half lemonade, half iced tea, East Van Brewing Lager, and a little vape. That's great. Edibles and a green tea. How very new world of you. 16-10, big hit in the Vancouver zone. It looks like we got a penalty. Oh, no, it's not a hit. It's Nuge going to the box. By the way, 16:07, that means that we have gone 64 minutes without Connor McDavid registering a shot. That is for sure a trip, too. They are going to call that every time, Nuge. Every damn time. 16:07, by the way. Raspberry Lime Spindrift. I don't know what that is. A Saskatchewan lager. I have had a Saskatchewan lager in Saskatchewan. But nothing beats a Pilsner from out there. You know that. Dorskin. I'm drinking Canes fans' tears. Well, fair enough. I get it. Vodka OJ and after the Oilers losing, and the Oilers losing, that's hilarious. It's coming. I think he's scoring tonight. McDavid scoring tonight? We'll see. All right, here we go. Hughes, Miller, goal, baby. Go, baby. It's Pettersson, baby. What did I tell you? I told you he was looking better. He's been looking better since the series started, which is 3.5 periods ago. But he's looking better, and he just scored. Petey, baby. Wow. What a goal. This is perfect setup for Miller. Besser's in great position there. Absolutely. This is like automatic. What a pass. Wow. And it's a clear passing lane, too. Like, nobody even challenges the pass. Oh. Honestly, I don't know. Like, if you're an Edmonton fan, I don't know what you can do about that. Other than not take the penalty. That was a really, really good play. That was really good. Damn. That was great. Oh. All right, Canucks fans, how we feeling? We still got J-Rocks in the chat going, whatever. Oilers 6-3 win. Okay. There's Zach Hyman using his butt, as he does. He uses it the best. Will McDavid get a shot on this particular shift? We are 15:09, by the way, if you're trying to align your clock. 15:06 now. Carson Soucy. No shot for McDavid on this shift. He's changing again. Oh, baby. Hey, Jared. Hey, on the podcast, can you please stop cutting the other guys off? Because you almost never take it to the topic they wanted to say. Jared, I do. And I have to cut them off. That's how the show's always been. It's my job as the host. You kind of have to steer the conversation, my friend. And I know it's frustrating sometimes. But if I don't keep them on track, we won't finish the point that we're at. I know. I'll try to let them go a little more. How's that? It's just that we do have to maintain some structure because there's lots of stuff to get to, and we're still hitting 2 hours every show. And it's, I want to make sure we get to everything. It's good intentions. Let me put it that way. TJ Ayash, I think it would be interesting to hear all of your NHL game soundtracks on the pod. 2004 is my favorite, or 2006 was my favorite. 2006 was my favorite too, because that was the one with, no, it was 05. Was it 04 or 05? That was the lockout one. Whatever had Avenged Sevenfold on it, that was my favorite one. Was that 04 or 05? Absolute favorite. Here's Mikheyev in. Let's see what he does. This third line was pretty good. Pettersson. Oh, that's not the third line. What am I talking about? That's Lindholm's line. Oh, Pettersson just got rocked from behind. Vancouver's got to fight there. You got to look what Nurse just did to him again. Yo, you got to fight that guy. You got to fight that guy. You can't let him do that. Nurse is just punking them. Oh, man. See, here's the thing in the playoffs. As much as it's 1-0, and I get it. What Nurse did there was like, step up. What are you going to do about it? Nobody did anything. It's not a great look. I'm sure Nikita Zadorov and Tyler Myers might have something to say it later. I'm sure. That was a big hit by Nurse. Definitely a call in the regular season. Never a call in the postseason. McDavid along the half board. Let's see if he gets a shot. 12:51 left. Bouchard, he's going to try to get at McDavid. Get that shot. If the Oilers were a dog breed, what would they be? That's from James. Oh, that's a good question. Part of me wants to say golden retriever because they're just like excited about the puck all the time. But they're a little bit more controlled than that. High energy, high octane, pretty smart. Is Border Collie? Does Border Collie work? Because they're pretty good on defense. Or, offense. Well, they're pretty good at everything, but pretty darn good on offense. And, like, I feel Border Collies are like, they are an active dog. They're not a reactive dog. They don't let the sheep come to them. They go to the sheep. So that's what I'm saying. 12:06 in the first. Adam, no comment on the Julian McKenzie suspension. Man, did you guys see that video? Julian absolutely rocked that guy. Oh, boy. See that Pettersson hit? That was like Julian. Wow. That was almost the exact hit, actually. I'm kidding. It wasn't that at all. That's a rough hit. Good for I'm glad Pettersson's all right. Julian, listen, you play life. You play ball hockey on the edge. I want that kind of competitor on my team. And that's why I'm glad he's at SDPN. because that guy's got passion, even in a ball hockey game. Border Collie, smart and fast, but prone to injury and illness and easily distracted. Exactly. Doesn't that describe the Oilers a little bit? Oh, some sustained Oilers pressure here. And Mikheyev breaks it up, and they'll finally get a change. Not ideal for that line that was so effective last game. But it's also not the end of the world. I think it's great for Petey to get that. You can see the guys are so happy for him. Dakota Joshua, Elias Lindholm, and Connor Garland. 5-on-5 tonight. That's the line I'm watching. And on Edmonton's side, I think you can't look away from Draisaitl, McDavid, Hyman. Because the story... So I'll give you the story with both of these lines. Easily the best line last game for Vancouver was Joshua, Lindholm, Garland. They each scored a goal. And it wasn't like they scored like, oh, you scored goal 1 or goal 2, whatever. Yeah, that's great. They did that. But Connor Garland's goal especially, and the goal that he made the turnover on too, I forget if that was goal 2 or goal 3. Really, really good stuff. That line, if they can be a factor like that, I love the way they match up against Vancouver's bottom 2 lines. If you can get them out there, roll them out there against the McLeod and the Ryan line as much as possible, don't let Corey Perry get in your grill. Dangerous. Now for Edmonton, you're top loaded. Draisaitl, McDavid, Hyman. Draisaitl, I couldn't tell if the reports were too true that he was like cramping, or if it was like a back thing, because I heard it was a back thing. I heard it was a cramping thing. I don't know what it was. If he's not going though, like you remember, this guy was a mutant against Calgary 2 years ago with a busted ankle. He was amazing, so he can play through hurt. But when it's your back, it's pretty difficult to do. And when you're cramping, it's pretty difficult to do. The reason that the storyline is so important for the first line for the Edmonton Oilers is that you essentially have 120 or 130 regular season goals between those guys. Leon Draisaitl had how many goals this year? Let's go through it. Let's figure it out. 36. McDavid had goals. McDavid, goals. What do we have for goals? And we have 30 goals. Or no, that's not 30 goals. Why am I looking at the playoff stats? That's weird. Yeah, he had 32. Draisaitl had 41. So there's 70. And then another 50-odd from Zach Hyman. So you're closing in on 130 goals with 3 players, which is incredible. If the best of those guys can't get a shot, that's stingy defense, which Vancouver has to be given credit for. You can't just say McDavid had a bad game. You can also say that Vancouver played really, really well against him and neutralized them. They're not going to hold him off the shot sheet tonight, but if you can hold him pointless 2 games in a row, I think people are going to start to take notice. The Oilers having suspect defense and goaltending has been the case for 15 years. Yeah, it has. But it's all good when you're scoring goals. Like I think the Oilers, it was Dom Lucian, I think. I was reading in The Athletic. He had a great article on the Leafs. And he was talking, it's always about the Leafs. He was talking about what the Oilers are in the playoffs. You know, they have an identity. They're freewheeling and they score goals, but they're also big and tough. And, you know, the Oilers actually allow more goals per game than the Leafs do in the playoffs. The difference is that they score double the amount of goals that the Leafs do in the playoffs. I think it's 4.5 a game, and they allow 2.5 a game, so you can win. That's most of the time you're going to win. The Leafs allow 2.5 goals a game, but they also score only 2.5 goals a game, and it's like it's not even 2.5. It's less than that. I'm saying you should read Dom's article. It's spectacular. Here's McDavid, half wall, Draisaitl, no shot, Hyman with a shot. That line has a shot. We got a penalty against Vancouver. I think Zach Hyman drew one. If I'm not mistaken, it's a holding. Oh, no. It's tripping. Just got in. Super Potato, welcome to the chat. Just got in. Who scored for the Canucks? That would be Elias Pettersson. That would be Elias Pettersson, who has not maybe had the best playoffs. And, or at least according to some, I think he's been coming on lately. I think he looked better against Nashville towards the end of the series. He looked good against Edmonton. He looks great tonight. 97 has averaged 1.62 points per game in his playoff career. He's only been held shotless 3 times this year. He gets better as the game goes. Fighting Amish. Amen. Listen, You discount Connor McDavid at your own risk. I was what did I do? Jesse and I had a good little tussle about the Ted Lindsay and how I would have put McDavid on it over Kucherov. Now, a lot of people didn't like that, but McDavid's points per game were basically in line with Kucherov's. He played less games. His team faced more struggles, and his team placed way higher. His team was way more successful, despite a crappy start. To me, McDavid is easily one of the top 3 best players in the league, and if he's not in that, then the award's invalid. He should be just in there every year, just locked in for the next 5 years. Man. Shilovs. Woo. Oh, McDavid almost had a shot, but he still doesn't have one. We are now 70 minutes officially without a McDavid shot, and he just got one, and Shilovs with another 2 big saves. Oh, baby. He just robbed Connor McDavid, but at least McDavid got a shot. At least he got one away. I'm just saying. This power play for the Oilers is dangereux. Dangereux. And that Canucks PK is really, really good. But damn, dude. 9:33 left in the first period, in case you're wondering. Man, the allergies are just killing me. My nose is itchy. Sorry, guys. Thank you to the 645 people here tonight. Hanging out, having a good time. Whoa. Oh, it's a goal. Leon Draisaitl, the crampy guy, Krampus. He scored. We got a tie game on a bad penalty. Let's be honest. Not a penalty the Oilers or the Canucks want to take. So this is exciting. We have a very interesting first period. Adam, you are pronouncing Simon Benoit wrong. Is it Simon Benoit? I'll call him Simon Benoit from now on. Jared Russell. In defense of Kucherov, Tampa was without their starting goalie for a month. You know what? True. And they didn't have a great start with Jonas Johansson. Not bad. They still beat the Leafs. But yeah, you're right. You're right, Jared. I can't hate. Listen, I think fans of Tampa are very protective. Every time I dare to suggest that Stamkos isn't going to be there, I get about 5 of them, and then the same guys in my DMs going, bah, 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 bah. And they make it really personal too. It's like, I hate your family. Okay. It's just a hockey debate. It's not that serious, man. This is supposed to be fun. That's the mantra of the company. Sports are fun. That's what it's supposed to be. Fun. We have debates. They get heated. Never personal. It's impressive how quickly the score updates on your screen. Well, that would be your good friend, Hayden, who is producing tonight. So please say hi to producer Hayden for me. He's a wicked guy, great producer, solid as a rock, score updater extraordinaire. We would actually, when we interviewed him, we're like, Hayden, tell us about your score updating abilities. And he was like, guys, don't even worry. That's all we needed to know. Yeah, Adam, you should get rid of your Stammer sucks flag outside of your house. Yeah, you're right. Tampa can't get over the fact that they had more men on the ice than the Avs in Game 4. Wait, have more men than the Avs in Game 4 on the ice. I don't remember that. Adam, appreciated your explanations of the Major League Hockey thing. Hayden is a rock, more like a gem. Boy up, Hayden, you're the man. Producer Christian Hayden Anakin. I think we can work on that nickname. Let's go, Hayden. We like him. Not like that rat producer Drew, villain of the SDPN, because it's funny. Yo, can I tell you a funny story from All-Star? So we carted out all the shows, right? We brought, or as many as we could. Alan came in. Chris and Julian were in. Drew and Stu. And Drew's got his football betting show, which is a great show, by the way, if you're into that sort of thing. It's phenomenal. Cam Stewart is such a great guy and so much fun to listen to. So when football, I mean, they're doing shows right now, but football is a real specialty. So if you're into football, you'll love him. By the way, 8:53 left in the first period. There were some people there that were only there to see Drew and Stu. They were Drew and Stu fans only. They didn't watch any of the hockey stuff. They're like, we don't care about hockey. We're football people. And when they talked to Drew, they're like, why is everybody booing you? We love you. Why is everybody... I'm like, you don't follow him on Twitter. Connor Cahill. Could someone sit Tyler Myers down, tie him up, and force him to watch his contract burn to a crisp in front of his eyes? Listen, man, you don't have to like the contract, but I always root for somebody making millions of dollars and being paid by billionaires. If you don't root for that, I think you're crazy. Good for him. He's set his family up for life. His kids are going to be able to go to whatever school they want to. Good for them. This guy earned it. Now, you may not love his play all the time, but I actually think he's been really valuable for the Canucks in these playoffs. He's like Ian Cole had a really up and down game last game. I thought Myers was cool as a cucumber. And he's been here before. He's a vet guy, and he's enormous. Drew exists, SDPN fans, angry emoji. Carter, do you enjoy the taxes in Canada? Absolutely not. No. But we got to pay for this stuff. Oh, Quinn Hughes has got to leave the ice. McDavid along the half boards. Quinn Hughes lost his helmet. He's got to get off the ice. That puts Vancouver down 5-4 just for a minute against Connor McDavid, which kind of sucks. Seelovs covers the puck. Zach Hyman getting a good old hug. Chase Horton, what happens if the Penguins win the Cup next year? You know it's going to happen. Man, with my luck, dude, of course they will. They're going to be the best team in the league. They're going to be to like a screaming hot start. Crosby's going to be a renaissance man, 130 points, win the Hart Trophy, win the Art Ross. Kyle Dubas is going to fly home to Toronto and be like, hey, guys, shut up. And we'll be like, true. Fair enough. If you were to move to Canada, is there a province you would recommend moving to? Outside of my own, which is extraordinarily expensive and not very livable at the moment, I would say Nova Scotia for its just raw, unbelievable beauty. And if you like a smaller... Ooh, that's a bad hit from behind. Oh, no, and I think Myers is hurt. He did the hit, but I think he got the worst of it. He's playing, but he's in pain. He's not. Oh boy. Oh, is it his back? Ooh, I can't. I want to see a replay of that. Yeah, if I were to say this, Nova Scotia, British Columbia. Oh, you know what? I love Alberta too. Do love Alberta. There's nothing like filling up your gas tank and looking at the mountains. It's a wild experience the first time you do it. You're like, nobody in Alberta notices it, but you're in Calgary and you're like, wow, there are those gorgeous, stunning mountains, which you'd see on a poster normally, and they're just there. Adam's worst nightmare Stanley Cup next year, Pens versus Preds again. Oh, yeah. Especially with the stingy Preds defense. Man, there's nothing like watching Sidney Crosby go up against a stifling trap defense. Snore. BC means bring cash. True. Here's Mikheyev with a shot. Good save by Stuart Skinner. Nice little offensive zone start for the Edmonton Oilers. I've lived in Van for 4 months and I'm now $2,000 in debt. Man, I know. It's so funny that we live in one of the biggest countries on earth, land value wise, and or not land value, land size wise, and we have one of the highest costs of living for housing. Like, we have room, we got space, a lot of space. I don't know. This isn't the place for it, but let me tell you. Worst Stanley Cup final, Columbus Blue Jackets versus Nashville. Oh, an all 2000s expansion matchup. Man, Columbus is like, I don't know what to say about Columbus. Sorry. It's 10:37 here. I'm a little pooped. They have such great fans, and yet they've done nothing for them. Do you know another blue and white team like that? I sure don't. They must be the only blue and white team that has so much talent and great fans and does nothing with it. They have to be. Have to be. No one would disgrace blue and white like that. 5:46 left in the first. Höglander against 4 Oilers and somehow gets it into the... Okay, so Höglander just went into the corner. Nurse let him, and Höglander's like, no, thanks. No, thanks. I'll turn around. I don't want to get hit from behind too like Petey did. Oh. And there's Nurse just punching faces. Höglander pushing him off. Nurse is like, listen, I might not be good all the time, but I'm big all the time, and I will punch you. To anyone who knows, is Vancouver a province or what is it? It's a city. And an island, too. There's Vancouver Island. STPN clock isn't up yet. Yeah, Chase, we don't have a clock on this one. We're working on it. We're working on it, buddy. Adam, a quick coffee and Adderall should do the trick. You know what? Never did that. Wasn't in university long enough, I think. Never did that. Probably not recommended. In fact, absolutely do not touch that stuff. Coffee's good, though. I think the worst final I can think of is Columbus and Anaheim, with the Ducks continuing a never-ending rebuild. Man, well, I'll say this. I mean, the Ducks will be exciting? Question mark? I mean, they should have been excited with Troy Terry and Sonny Milano and Trevor Zegras. I feel like we were sold a bad bill of goods about that team. Like, wow, these guys are the future. And they might be somebody's future, but not the Ducks' future. Yeah, anyway. Let's see here. Adam, what is the security guard story? If you can't say, just ignore in the chat. I don't know what the security guard story is. What are we talking about, the security guard? I don't know. Dream final non-Leafs from Aaron Grace. Okay, I'll just go with the teams that are still in this year. And I don't want to sit on the fence here because I'm really excited. If the Rangers get through and the Panthers get through, that is going to be an unbelievable series. Can we say, like this? I'm split on this series. I'm not going to lie, guys. I watched the Vancouver Canucks all the way through round one, so I have a warm spot. And the Edmonton Oilers have Toronto hometown boy Connor McDavid on them, and a bunch of other Toronto hometown guys too. I don't know, man. I won't say this year. I would love to see a New York Rangers, Los Angeles Kings battle for the United States. Who's got the superior big city? Who's better? Finally. We need to find out, don't we? New York and LA make these allusions to each other like, oh, man, you wouldn't understand New York. You're from LA. And LA's like, oh, there's no sun in New York. I'm from LA. Oh, good save by Stuart Skinner. I'd love to see that. And a non-Leafs, like, I think that would be my favorite. I think that would be very cool. New York, LA. But they'd have to... LA's not very good. And Anze Kopitar after the season was like, I can't rebuild. So what are we going to do? Adam, can you see the Northern Lights down there? It's going crazy up in Sudbury. Even if we could, Darren, the lights of the city are so bright that you can't even see the stars at night most of the time. So unfortunately, no. LA beat New York in 2014. Yes, they did. Oh! Boy, I got to ask you this. Dream final, 30-year-old sequel, Canucks Rangers. That would be sick. Canucks Rangers, the rematch this year? Ooh. The Bure Bowl, because he played for both. Wouldn't that be cool? That's a great... Connor? Damn. Good point, man. Good point. Oh, I guess 2 would be the Messier Bowl. And if Vancouver loses, Messier has to be their captain again. What do you think, guys? Are you into it? Where do you think Kotkaniemi will get traded this summer? I don't know. I've never seen a player peak at 18 like he has. He's a good player, but like they gave up a lot to get that guy. Oh, and actually, did they? Montreal let him go. It was a high contract. Oh man. 356 left. Desharnais blocked. Looked like it hurt. Desharnais, just a gigantic man. He's huge. 73 for the size of feet. Here comes Evander Kane. Sneaky little backhander. Ian Cole breaking up the play behind the net. Pettersson. This line's been pretty good tonight. Pettersson's already got a goal. Ian Cole. Woo, Ian Cole. Holy moly. I don't think he meant to do that, but that was dangerous. Throwing it out in front of your own net with the Edmonton Oilers pressing. It's a good thing the McDavid line wasn't out there. I'm curious to see what... Oh, here we go. Mikheyev. Oh, and it's broken up by Desharnais. Seaweed man. Pettersson with a shot. Tried to go high on Stuart Skinner. Skinner's got that with his shoulder. And there is a penalty. Pettersson has just drawn a penalty. Here we go. Vancouver 6-on-5. Let's see what happens. Mikheyev out there. Miller out there. Edmonton being... Wow. Good little pass there. Roenick... Okay, so they don't have the zone. And there's the offensive zone. Mikheyev was gassed. He's like, I just can't do this anymore, guys. Seaweed Man is big in Japan. He should be. Should be the biggest. Move to Minnesota. It's a cheaper version of Canada. I hear Minnesota's gorgeous. I've never been. I've been through the airport about 40 million times, and I got lost about 40 million times. I don't know if you've ever been through the Minnesota airport or the Minneapolis airport. It's freaking huge. The draft pick used to acquire Christian Dvorak is what Montreal got for Kotkaniemi. Ooh, Bergevin. Montana is a bit like Canada. I have been to Montana. Montana is a bit like Western Canada because it's right under Western Canada, and it's gorgeous. Whitefish is just... I went to Whitefish in the summer, and I was like, this is crazy. Was thinking of moving to St. John's and was looking forward to Growler games. I know. It's tough to run an ECHL team out of St. John's. The flights are just so expensive. Stahl, Matthews, chance for a Selke against Barkov. Probably not. It'd be nice to see Matthews get a Selke once, because I think that because he gets to so many goals, people don't realize how great he is on defense. But he's like, isn't he regularly one of like the league leaders in like block shots, and he's great at takeaways and all the things you would want from your number one center. He plays such great defense. Very responsible player. But, you know, he's never going to get credit for it around the league because he shouldn't. He almost scored 70 goals. Who's going to give him credit for his defense? Here we go. Pettersson deep. Miller along the boards. Edmonton players flying. They're collapsing in. Vancouver spreads him out. We got a shot. Ooh, it's redirected. That could have been dangerous, but it goes over the net from Miller. Oh, stolen from Pettersson by Pettersson. There's Miller along the board again. A lot of this is going through him and Hughes. You're noticing them back and forth and back and forth. They're going to try to reset Pettersson up, and he breaks his stick. No, that sucks. How many sticks are on the ice? There's at least 2 broken sticks, and Connor Garland's stick too. Damn. So that's Pettersson and Besser with broken sticks on the same thing. That's just pain. Miller had him set up perfectly too. That would have, I mean, I don't know if it's going in, but damn. Mike Fish, Nylander at $11 million per year is painful. Mike, that's a rough take, buddy. It's a rough take. Listen, not all takes can be good. I've had some rough takes too. If there's a guy you're willing to pay that for, I think he's one of them. Almost 100 points this year. I mean, come on. Listen, the Leafs cap situation isn't great, but I think that if you're going to invest money, maybe they'll have a core 2. Because I have a feeling that it's going to be Matthews and Nylander left over. That's what's going to happen. The PLD debacle should be studied for many years by future GMs in LA. Yeah, agreed. And that's, guys, I keep saying it. They brought Mark Bergevin in, and they didn't have to. No one forced them. And isn't it funny? Oh, we got a shot. Oh, Shelovs. Oh, what a stop. Oh, baby. It just squeaks out of his glove after a slap shot, and he is over to stop it. Artie Party. We got 3 seconds left in the first period. Baby. How long will it take LA to decide to buy out Pierre-Luc Dubois? I don't think that's happening. As much as, so it may not happen because it may not be able to. If, I believe this is the weirdest wrinkle ever, but his birthday is on what would be scheduled to be Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. So if we get a Game 7, that will be Dubois' birthday. And I believe the buyout window starts the next day. And that day, his buyout goes from a 1/3 buyout to a 2/3 buyout. So even if LA wanted to buy him out, they might not be able to because the buyout window will be open. Potentially the day after his birthday, making them have to pay 2/3 of the contract. That's rough. Toronto should buy them both out, Marner and Tavares. No. Maurice, they got a no-move clause. They're not buying him out. They're getting traded. Maybe. They already said they're not buying out PLD. Yeah, GMs say stuff. You know, when you've been following it long enough, you'll probably realize that a GM will be like, yeah, we're not buying him out until it's time to buy him out. I'm not saying that they will with that guy, but I do think they will probably trade him or find a I don't know. Do you see his end of season press conference? He said something that bothered people, but I actually think he made a good point, which was the coaching staff was kind of all over the place this year, and he couldn't get comfortable. I think he had to give it another year. And if you give it another year and it doesn't work out, it doesn't matter because you'll be fired anyway. Last episode, you talked about the Flames and how the name didn't make sense. Bit of history. They were named after the big 1917 fire in Georgia. How do you feel about naming a team after a tragedy? Heather, I didn't know that. I think if you can draw strength from the tragedy, which is what I believe they would have been going for, I do think in today's day and age, that would be weird. But you have to remember that was the 1970s. And you pretty much have a generation of people who would have been in their late 40s, early 50s, who went to war, a world war. They'd seen tragedy over and over and over again. So, and their grandparents had seen tragedy. So they looked at things a lot differently than we would. And I feel like in that sense, and this is weird, but in that sense, you can see how it would be like a weird way to honor the people that died. Although it is strange that the Flames hung on to that name, isn't it? The Calgary Flames. I guess because the oil, you can't be the Oilers, but it is kind of strange that they were like, well, we can be Flames too. Belgos, the NHL should go to 3 points for regulation win. Yeah, I've seen that. How about we simplify it? Wins, losses. And I've always said this. I always thought this would be fun. My wrinkle is if you go to overtime and you don't score, both teams get 0 points. No points. No loser point. Nope. So if you go, I want 10 minutes of 3-on-3, and I want two teams being aggressive. And so if you play that entire game and you come out tied 0-0, you get nothing. Nothing. I like that. I don't know. Don't think I've ever seen a team whine to the refs as much as the Oilers consistently every game. They're screaming at the refs after every play. Kevin, you've never watched a Leafs game. Not only the fans, me, but the Leafs themselves. A lot of complaining. 2-1-0 is the perfect system. What's 2-1-0 in the point system? They should scrap the point for losing an OT. I 100% agree that they should scrap a point for losing an OT. I think you do wins and losses. A win is a win. A loss is a loss. There are no ties if you're going to do it in that situation. You play and somebody wins. Simple. Think about it. The only real reason that we have an overtime loss point in all honesty, is so that we can fake the idea that teams are closer to each other than they are. The NHL wants to create playoff races, and so they're creating the illusion of fairness. It helps support the fact that they think that the salary cap makes things fair too, which it doesn't. Rich teams still have an advantage. Smaller markets still have many disadvantages, like less staff. Just ask the Ottawa Senators how much the salary cap has benefited them when they didn't spend to it, and they had nobody in management and nobody on the scouting staff and nobody behind the scenes. Now that's changing, but I do want to say that it's sort of important, right? What about the double IHF 3210? Man, the double IHF point system is so complicated. You got to remember, hockey's on a really good growth curve right now. It's just the beginning. But after 2 years on ESPN and TNT, especially in the States, it hasn't looked this good in like 20 years. And if you switch to a system like that, how do you explain that to somebody that's never seen a game? That's really hard to do. That's like okay, well, if they win, but if they lose, they still get a point. It's like, oh, it's just enough, enough. Yeah, no loser points. Teams playing equals teams playing to win. I agree. Don't let them use overtime. This is what drives me nuts. You're getting to the end of the game. There's 50 seconds left, and both teams stop skating. You've given up your night to watch your team. It's getting out of the end of the game where the game should be super intense, super exciting. They should be pushing each other. And what do? Well, you know what? Let's take a breath. Let's get to overtime. We'll just float this back and forth for 20, 30 seconds behind our goalie, and then we'll go to no. Adams, there's also the illusion that many poor teams are above 500 when they're losing way more than winning. Points percentage is deceiving. Agreed, Joe. I agree. Listen, it's not the small market teams that don't do well in the NHL, and oftentimes it's the big market teams. Look at the Toronto Maple Leafs, the biggest market team. You look at the Pittsburgh Penguins. They have 3 Stanley Cups in the last 15 years. That's a small market team. You can win as a small market team in the NHL. You can do great. And that's awesome. And I applaud that. But I don't like the fact that teams like what team the other year? Was it Florida that lost 17 games or something? Or was it Calgary that didn't win 17 games in overtime? Anyway, there was a team that had like over 10 overtime losses. Like, you don't deserve points for that. You lost. Lost. Go home. Feel bad. Get up tomorrow. Try to win. I think there should be a 20-minute OT of 3-on-3 regular season. Chase, I agree with you, except the TV schedules would not. TV will... I'm old enough to remember when they used to cut overtime because they had to do like the newscast because you couldn't have live sports interrupting the newscast. That has since changed. Live sports are the only thing that people are really watching on TV anymore with any regularity. And yeah, I would say that 20 minutes is probably too long because it just makes the games outrageously long. Nobody wants to commit to it that long in the regular season. Utrim, they do deserve points for an OT loss. Why? Yeah, Boston lost 17 games in regulation and OT last year. Boston had 15 OT losses. That would have been 3rd seed. Yeah, so that's what it is. So Boston this year had 15 overtime losses. I didn't know that. Damn. Pittsburgh fans are a small market, but Pittsburgh is a small market, but Pittsburgh fans are legit everywhere. Yeah, of course they are. It's not, listen, same with the Steelers fans. They're nuts. They're everywhere. Everywhere. Jared Brussel, the salary cap has saved many teams from being forced to move. Florida and Carolina couldn't afford to compete otherwise. That's not true. You've been told that, but that is not true, especially now. If you were going to make an argument that the salary cap saved anyone, and I will listen to an argument that some salary cap protection is needed. I will listen to that. It's the Canadian teams. It's not the American ones. American ones are fine. They were always fine. They're getting way better. I would say that Personally, from what I have heard, the salary cap stopped some Canadian teams that would surprise you from moving. Put it that way, especially when the American dollar was really bad. Here's the key. It's not the salary cap that saves the team. It's rev share. Rev share, when a team, when they equalize revenue a little bit, and that doesn't mean that they equalize it 100%, but when the richer teams are writing checks to the poorer teams, that's what saves them. That's what stabilizes things. And that's why, and this is the genius of Gary Bettman, I got to give him this, the franchise values are skyrocketing. I don't know if you caught Agent Provocateur. I was supposed to throw to a clip, but I guess we'll just talk through this. Alan was talking about how it could be as much as $2 billion for the next franchise tag. $2 billion. Just to give context for that, Vegas was $500 million. Seattle was $650 million. And that is because they've got cost certainty in the NHL. Huge thing. There's also private equity money flowing into all sports teams across the world, as you've seen. And there's only going to be a limited amount of franchises, right? It's a finite resource. So, the need for the salary cap to protect teams from moving now, I mean, you could get the same thing done with a luxury tax. All you have to do is make it an oppressive luxury tax. And people will be like, oh, the Leafs and the Rangers would spend wildly. Do you know the Leafs owners? Fanatical cost savers. Fanatical. You know who else? James Dolan of the Rangers? The guy, really? No, I mean, he'll spend some money, but are you kidding me? Nah. I think encouraging these teams to spend more and equalize the payments. So if you get into luxury tax, every dollar is tax 3. So I spend $1, but I'm actually spending 4, right? So if I want to sign, I got the core 4 in Toronto, and I'm right at the salary cap, but there's a luxury tax, and I want to sign McDavid to $20 million. Well, McDavid at $20 million on my cap in luxury tax is going to cost me $80 million. You'd have a hard time passing that through the board. And so if you do go into overage, that money goes into a pot and goes to the teams that lose money. Easy. Boom. Done. They are showing Pettersson's greatest dives during intermission. I'm sort of watching it right now. I was just more going on a tangent. Oh, is that TNT that's doing that? I'm watching the Canadian feed. Drinking for 7 hours, and now I'm in bed with water. Well, John, enjoy, my friend. Enjoy. Swayman is Boston's only chance. Well, there. You know, Brad Treliving made a really, really good point about the Toronto Maple Leafs against Jeremy Swayman. And it's not that Jeremy Swayman isn't a great goalie. He is very, very good. But Treliving has said something that the Leafs have done for years. He called it out beautifully. He said, we are turning opposing teams' goaltenders into the first star every night. And what he means by that is when the Leafs get a pile of shots on net, it looks really good on a spreadsheet. Like it really, it kind of jogs a lot of the advanced numbers, but it doesn't fully tell the whole story. You got to get into things like, you can't just get into possession numbers there. You got to get into like high danger score chances. And high danger scoring chances, like the kind that, say, Zach Hyman comes up with, because he's the master at it, are, and William Nylander's actually really good at this too, are dirty ice goals. They are rebounds. You're getting a cross check from behind. You get your puck on the stick. It's a rebound, boom, score. Leafs are terrible at that. Garbage. Just garbage at that. And that's why goaltenders look so good against them, because they just, here's an open look, and here's an open look, and here's an open look, and we'll fire it right at your chest. Jared Roussel, Carolina and Florida couldn't afford to pay the level of talent compared to Detroit. Have you forgotten how much they paid? Well, yeah, Jared, but they also had different owners back then. You got to remember, Carolina once had an ownership group before Tom Dundon that the Carmanos family, Peter Carmanos' son was suing him. Like it took Gary Bettman a long time to sort out a good ownership situation in most markets. He just got saved by Ryan Smith from Alex Murillo. Like, that wasn't a good pick. He's made some bad picks. A lot of people don't remember some of the guys that have come into the NHL. There's an Islanders documentary. I think there's a 30 for 30 on that guy There's another guy who tried to buy the Predators. There's another guy who tried to buy the Blues. Oof. Rough. Doesn't help when the Leafs just pass the puck around the boards for 90% of theirs. David's right. You know who does pass the puck around a lot? Vancouver. But do you know what they do? They have somebody in front of the net. It's Lindholm or it's Besser, especially on the power play. And they'll just sit there and they'll do their thing. And they do a great job with it. And it's like Vancouver passes just as much as Toronto does, and then they'll get a shot because there's somebody in front of the net and they'll actually take the shot. Andrew Miller, I'm so damn glad that San Jose was thrown a bone. They were. Celebrini's going to be, if he's the guy, he'll be very interesting. Him and Will Smith, that could be fun. Does Will Smith get to be Big Willie style now that William Nylander, now that we have an actual Will Smith in the league, does William Nylander have to give up that moniker? Because, kind of makes more sense for him, doesn't it? Marner plays with the puck too much. Yeah, Justin, I agree with you. I think I think that's part of his game in the regular season is he's able to take his time, get set up, and they've preached that. What the Leafs kept preaching was take your time, maintain possession, do not give up the puck, and don't force a play, which in theory it's a great theory. It is. Keep the puck, make things happen. The problem is that when you keep the puck too long, you can take away from making things happen. You have to use speed. The Leafs are not fast. Anybody ever wonder why the Leafs never get a bunch of penalties going in their favor? It's because they don't forecheck. They don't have any speed. Watch Connor Garland skate. Watch Connor McDavid skate. Watch those guys go. Watch Zach Hyman in the corners. Zach Hyman gets hauled down because Zach Hyman has the puck and he's doing things that make you uncomfortable. If you're cycling around all the time, it's like, okay, you guys go ahead and do that. We'll just wait for you to come to us. So the Leafs have to change that game plan, whoever comes in. Go Canucks. I'm not going to miss the third tonight. All right, Gabriel. Did you shut off the game, Gabriel? Throw a blank check at Stamkos to help in San Jose. I don't think you're going to bring Stamkos to San Jose, Mike Fish. I do appreciate the comment. I think he makes more sense in Detroit or Nashville. Those are my two picks. Do you think the Canucks could have the best goalie duo in the league with Demko and Svilovs now? Yeah, I mean, we're leaving their other goalie out, Casey DeSmith, who had a pretty good game and got rocked, by the way. Absolutely crushed. Said it on Steve Streams. Toronto's power play, this is Cassie. Toronto's power play looked exactly like the Penguins' power play. Just passing it back and forth and then shooting it into the shin pads. It's a pretty good summation. I think the thing that drove me nuts again about the Sheldon Keefe era there is the lack of adjustment. And I don't know how much you can put at the feet of Sheldon or his assistants, but to be honest, it was the same every year. The power play always dried up in February, March, never was good for April, never came back, and they never changed anything about it. I don't know. I'm interested to see. I was talking to somebody today, and they think the Leafs' biggest need is goaltender. What do you think of that? In fact, if you're an Edmonton or a Vancouver fan, you're an Oilers or you're a Vancouver fan, I would like to know your opinion. How would you fix the Leafs? You being in the second round, you know what good teams look like. It's not that the Leafs don't have talented players, but are they a good team? They didn't get results. You got to call them an okay team. Good enough team. Good enough to make the playoffs. All those hardworking construction workers, I've heard rumors of a new 3-on-3 league forming this fall. Can anyone confirm this? Well, no, it's not. There is a 3-on-3 league coming. That's not the one Steve reported on. Again, I tell you, Steve got burned by a source on that one, so we had to retract the video. And no, he didn't get paid by the Saudis. Stop it. 3 Ice, if you look it up, I believe, weirdly enough, for the Canadians in the chat, that Stephen Harper is one of the investors. Weird. I guess when you're a prime minister and you make that tens of thousands a year, you can spend big money. Next Oilers goal scorer. Who's the next Oilers goal scorer? We have a Draisaitl goal. We had 2 Hyman goals last game. I'm going to be ridiculous and say McDavid. I know, super easy pick, but I think McDavid's probably going to want to get a goal here. Do I miss Hyman? Every day, all the time. I didn't know. Nobody knew Zach Hyman was a 25 goal scorer or a 30 goal scorer, let alone 50. I'm thrilled for him, though. Apparently just a great guy. Heard nothing but good things. Also, he wrote a kid's book. Should the Leafs try to get Kemper from Washington? No. There's a reason that Washington was starting Charlie Lindgren. No, absolutely not. You should ask producer Drew about Darcy Kemper. He won a cup. I'm not taking 3 Ice is entering its 3rd season. Well, Hank, I don't know, it shows how much I'm paying attention to stuff. Leafs need a bunting Hyman type. They have that. Bertuzzi. And he's been great. And he might stay. Don't think he will. I don't think Bertuzzi ever wanted to sign in Toronto. I don't think that was ever a goal. And that doesn't mean that you need to be upset about it, but I think they were the best deal he could get last summer. And he had a good season, not a great one, up and down, but when he was up, he was really up. Very, very good. And he may have found a home here. The one thing about playing next to Austin Matthews and Max Domi is you sure get a lot of chances to score goals. I don't know. That's fun. We love Hyman as an Oiler. Thank you, Toronto. Good. Take good care of him. Listen, if we can't get a cup, I can root for Zach Hyman. I can root for that. Canucks fans, don't worry. I haven't betrayed you. Speaking of Washington, is TJ Oshie going on permanent LTIR? I don't know. I know he broke his hand, and I know that weirdly enough, I followed Ted Leonsis on LinkedIn. This kind of nerd stuff I'm into. And he had a really Monumental Sports and Entertainment, which is the group. Oh, we got a penalty for Edmonton. Monumental Sports and Entertainment was the group that owns the Caps and the Wizards. And they did a really nice. Ooh, boy, that's brutal. That was a brutal. Ooh, that didn't feel good. Is that a dive? Is that a dive? What's Rick Tocchet saying to the ref? What do you get it for? I got to be honest with you about the refs. I've not complained about the refs. Not complained about the refs all year or all series. That was a little bit too even. I know they got to play a bit of an even game in the penalties and stuff like that for whatever reason. I don't know about that one. But we get Besser Miller. Oh, what a goal! Wow, Carson Soucy, and I believe that was Brock Besser that tipped that. Wow, I'm way too internet. Congratulations, Canucks fans. Damn. What a goal. Nice little redirect. That's the kind of thing you need. So Miller wins the faceoff. Soucy, great tip. Wow. It almost looks like a set play, but it's really just basic hockey. And that was a great tip right underneath Stuart Skinner, right through the 5-hole. Oh, yeah. Hockey fan, 19/8. Any faith in Shanahan? Think he's still running it? Oh, he is still running it. But CJ made a really good point in his article today. It's no longer the Shanahan plan. It's the Pelly. What did he call it? Hang on. The Pelly pivot. Keith Pelly being the new CEO. Brendan Shanahan has reported directly to the Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment Board since. Oh, what a goal! Oh my God. That's a dagger from Ekholm. That's his second of the series, too. Wow. That's how you send a message. Wow. 2 goals, 4-on-4. Who could have thought? What happened here? Soucy has the puck, turns it over. McDavid kind of creates a turnover there. McDavid gets a point on that one. Nice little play by Draisaitl, McDavid, Ekholm. I think McDavid did that on purpose. Did he just redirect that puck to Ekholm's stick on purpose without seeing him? Dude, it's outrageous. Outrageous. Okay, so I lost the bet on who got next goal, but McDavid did get the primary assist. So I should get some half marks for that, don't you think? Any faith in Shanahan? Think he's still running it. So Shanahan is now reporting to a CEO who is in between the board. So there's the board, there's Shanny, there's Tree Living. Now there's the board, there's Pelly, there's Shanny, there's Tree Living. That's a big difference. I think Shanny's got a year. Thomas, would lost endorsement money stop Mitch Marner from waiving his no move clause? No. I think Mitch Marner, you got to think about this in dollars, not dimes. And the major part of the money that Mitch Marner is going to make in his life is going to be this next contract. And it's going to be 8 years long. And it's probably going to be 100 million plus. And whatever team, if he is traded, whatever team picks him up is going to get him July 2nd or beyond, because that's after his bonus is paid. They're going to pay $750,000 this year because that's what he's actually going to be paid in salary. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, no. I think that, listen, he'll worry about the endorsement bucks later. And remember, he can always come back to Toronto and still make endorsement money. That's still possible too. Kyle Lowry does. I think Marner will prioritize cup or money next. Mike, I think your head must say money. Your heart must say cup. And you must find a way up the middle. One that gives you the money and allows you the chance at the cup. I know that's sort of a fence answer, but I don't know that anybody looks at it any other way. McDavid. Oh, McDavid lines starting to look dangerous. 16:56 left in the second period, by the way, if we're lining streams. Marner to the Flames. I don't think the Flames are going to do Brock Besser. This is so much more fun than Nashville. Yo, so much more fun than Nashville. Oh my God, Nashville was in retrospect, we got through it, but Nashville was tough. TJ, Pelly pivot, shorts for the boys. Shorts into the arena, guys. Keith Pelly. He's a shorts guy. Marner to Dallas for Johnson or Rupee Hintz. But here's the thing. You have to ask why Dallas would do that. Like, Dallas could lose this round or lose the next round, not do anything, and everybody's like, well, they're a Stanley Cup favorite next year. They'll try to get better for sure. But I don't know, unless you're moving off of some of the guys like Ben, who still are amazing hockey players. Sagan, still an amazing hockey player. Yeah. Marner to Detroit for Justin Hall. Richard, stop it. Let's talk about hockey. Whoop! Save by Svilovs. Another save for Svilovs. But like fancy shorts. Yo, true. The boys, listen, if the boys have ever rocked fancy shorts before, you know. You ever rip some fancy shorts? You feel good. The gams are out. The shorts are fance. You're having a good night. If only Nashville got to see some U2, maybe they would have performed in the playoffs. Aaron, you're right. No, Nashville did perform in the playoffs. Nashville took 2 games. 2 games? Yeah, I have a terrible memory. I did that entire series, and I don't remember that. It doesn't matter. Nashville did good. Vancouver is so in another universe over Nashville talent-wise. The fact that Nashville got to win it all. They play really, really strong defense. They really do. She loves. San Jose has $40 million in cap space next year. What do they got to do to be competitive? They need to continue to draft low. What you do. Oh, here we go. Oh, Garland almost had a really good chance. Good setup from Susie. Man, I got to tell you, the other difference when I watch the Canucks and I watch the Oilers and I watch the Leafs is how active the defenses are both for both teams. And I'll speak specifically to the Canucks, but if you're talking Oilers, a guy like Evan Bouchard, just how active they are in the play and how many points they get, it really is amazing. Garland, man, what a weapon this guy is. Love Connor Garland. Hughes, Garland, oh, he just misses. Good little steal by Garland off of Darnell Nurse in the corner. He's so fast that Darnell Nurse didn't have the time to line him up. Look at the size difference between the two of them. Nurse is, it's like, what are you doing at my knees? What are you chewing at? Are you chewing at my ankle? Yeah, San Jose is going to continue to tank, to answer your question. Was that a Seinfeld reference? Another game for Milos. Yeah. Another save for Shelovs. She loves. Whatever, it works. Stop it. It's 11:18 here. I'm exhausted. I'm a father and I'm up at 11 o'clock at night. I literally did fall asleep 3 times during the Nashville series. Emmy, look at you mentioning sleep. Woo! Did I pass my yawn on to any of you? Did I? Yeah, I don't blame you. It was a rough series, but you know what? We had so much fun. It was cool having everybody here. We got a face-off, 14:36. I'm going to clap. Here we go. Of course, the camera missed the face-off, but 14:30, right on the dot, 14:30. That's where we're at. Hilarious that people in here are thinking we would take some bum return for Marner. I have to tell you, 19, you're right. Oh, yeah. Warrior Womp, you got some yawns too. Yeah, no. Everybody who thinks that just because a no movement clause exists, that there aren't going to be 31 teams calling about Mitch Marner, you're out of your mind. Remember, just because he hasn't performed the way you wanted to in the playoffs doesn't make him not one of the most spectacular players to ever play for the Toronto Maple Leafs. End of story. End of story. He's a top 10 scorer all time for the Toronto Maple Leafs. The franchise is like 108 years old. Are you kidding me? Guy's phenomenal. He's phenomenal. And it'll be sad to see him go. I will be. I wish we could have had more. I wish he could have won a cup. And if he doesn't go, I hope they do win a cup. Oh, McDavid almost set up another goal there. 13:30 left in the second period. Edmonton looking far more in control of this second period than they did last game. I think Edmonton had such a great first period and had a lot. It's funny. Vancouver looked so good in the second and yet let in all the goals. Weird. Nuge. Myers is back out there. He looks like he's feeling better. Man, whatever happened there, that looked painful. Hoglander. I want to call him Hoglander. I'm from Hogtown. Can't blame me. Pettersson. Ooh, Pettersson's looking dangereux. He's looking good. Trade Marner to Ottawa for a defenseman. No, he's not going to Ottawa. No. Is Steve still going to stream Bruins Cats? Don't know. Weirdly enough, your boy Steve has been sick for like 2 weeks. He hasn't complained about it much, but on the podcast, like when we have to sometimes take little breaks in recording, just occasionally, and he'll go from like Steve to like, ugh. He's not been feeling good. It's like Matthews, mystery illness, and I think it's just babyitis. If anybody's ever had a kid, you know what I'm talking about. Infantitis. You're just exhausted all the time. Adam, are you cheering for the Canucks? I am trying to be as partial as possible. I will say this. I have a soft spot for the Canucks because of the first round. But I have to say, I'm rooting for a 7-game series here. And it's not to say that I'm not cheering for, it's weird. It's a weird feeling because I'm like, listen, I'm a fan of the Toronto Maple Leafs. But I'm really liking this series, and I really like both teams. I think what's cool about Vancouver is the story. This is a team that didn't make the playoffs for, what? They made the playoffs once in like 12 years? It's rough. After going to the Stanley Cup final? It's rough. But damn, look at them. That's exciting. You can get behind that. The Oilers, I mean, as much as they're old news because they're always good, dude, Oilers are a great story too. Still don't have that cup. Need that cup. Like, Adam, are you reading the chat? Yeah, of course. Edmonton smells. Of course, you smelly bellies. Supposedly the Flames owner. So sorry, Adam. I don't know what's going on. What's happening here? Is there something going on in the chat? I don't know what's going on here. Am I missing something in the chat? I don't know. Adam Charette. Trade Marner back to Lamorello for Pulak and Varlamov. Right-hand D with a bomb and a good goalie to help Woll. You know, it would be nice if they could get a good defenseman and a good goalie. But most importantly, cap space. And they're going to need more than one good defenseman, by the way. But yeah, they need a goalie to go with Joe Woll. I mean, that's just what it is. Thank you so much for reading my chat. I'm subbing. Well, thank you. We're all just coming up with Marner trade scenarios. Are Vancouver and Edmonton fans trying to trade Mitch Marner? More at 11. Hank Barber, sorry you were a Toronto fan. Hank, I'm not. I'm here till the end. One day, Hank, my ship's coming in. And I might be an old man, but it's going to be a glorious day. It's going to be a glorious day. Well, listen, look, the Canucks have been around a very long time too, and they haven't won either. Canucks fans are just like me. You know? Oilers fans, you've been blessed with some success within the last half century. We can't say that. I mean, the Canucks at least have been in the finals a couple times. Oh. There's Besser. Marner to Pittsburgh for Carlson. No. Let's take our problem and make it a problem. Nothing against Carlson. He's a spectacular hockey player, but the cap hit is too much. The interesting one that I heard today is that Morgan Riley might be available. Send Marner to the oil sands of Alberta. Hanging with his boy, Zach Hyman. Listen, it tracks. Oh, McDavid with a steal. He's got Myers and he's got Draisaitl. Oh, and it's broken up by Susie. Damn. Did McDavid take too long making that play? You got to ask the question. Is McDavid washed? You got to ask the question. Jim Dewiger, if the Oilers lose this game, they are toast. I disagree. Whoa, big hit. Big hit. Joshua, baby. Woo! Lindholm. Now we got a game, guys. Now we're freewheeling. This line was so good last game. Oh, my feed just froze. Okay, we're back. From Joshua, who's a VIP member for 3 months. Hey, Josh, thank you. Have you read The Horse, the Wheel, and Language? I have not. Should I? Is it a good book? Marner for Byfield, Deneau, and a second-round pick. Yo, I'm not going to lie. Getting 2 forwards back for Marner that look like that, you have my attention. Because I love Deneau. They need a centerman. They probably need 2 centermen, for being honest. Big hit again, Vancouver. Ian Cole this time. The beard. Trade talks are always fun. Yeah, Mike, I agree. Let's talk Oilers. What would it take for the Oilers to put McDavid in Toronto, where he belongs? And what would it take Vancouver to put Quinn Hughes in Toronto, where he belongs? Oh, Robert Malloy's here. Everybody say hello, Robert. All right, give me your McDavid trade proposals, guys. Can't include Matthews. That's cheating. I do want to point something out. Vancouver has been... Oh, Patrick, welcome to STP VIP ad-free. Patrick, welcome, Patrick B. You're going to like this. I'm really excited to hear what you think of STP VIP ad-free. Hi, Adam. I've been here the whole time. I live here. I'm in your walls. I know, Robert. I know you are. All right. Guys, I'm not seeing enough McDavid to Toronto here. Oilers fans specifically. I want you to tell me what it would take to get McDavid to Toronto. Because let's be honest, you want to trade him there. You want McDavid to be a Maple Leaf. It's his hometown team. These are the trades you're looking for. Did it work? Did it work? Just wondering. Marner to Florida for Reinhart. Isn't Reinhart? No, Verhaeghe's the free agent. Is Reinhart the? I don't even know who's a free agent as much as I should yet this year. Been so focused on the games. Smeeth. Hi, Smeeth. In the super chat. If the Oilers end up winning the series, will you stream their next series, or are you planning on streaming Canucks games? Love from Halifax. Smeeth, I will be doing whichever team moves on. So if it's the Canucks or if it's the Oilers, I'm going to move on to. I really enjoy the late night thing. I used to do late nights in Halifax at 101.3. Now Virgin Radio, used to be the Bounce. And I love overnights. I think it's the most fun shift to do in entertainment. I wish there was more overnight shifts to do. Like I'm super jealous of the people on TV who get to do these hockey games, because how sick would that be as a job? That'd be so sick. That would be a dream. I would love to podcast during the day. This is my dream. Podcast during the day. Be a host on Sportsnet, TSN, whatever, with Steve and Jesse. That's what I'd like to do. I'm putting it out there. That's what I want. Well, I want to do a panel show because it just looks like they're having a riot all the time. Like you look at Biz and you look at Wayne Gretzky and all those guys at TNT and ESPN and Arda Orcal. Man, I love that guy. Arda's wicked. That would be a dream. And I love working at night. So yes, I will be staying on the West Coast. Marner, Matthews, Tavares for McDavid and a bag of pucks. Somehow I don't feel like that would be enough for Oilers fans. McDavid can go to Toronto when he retires to coach Toronto out of their loser ways. McDiesel, do you have to be so on point about it? Do you have to be so correct? I don't think the players themselves are losers. They have lost, though. Stinks. Speaking into existence. Thank you, Aaron. Oh, yeah, don't forget about PK. PK Subban. Dynamite on TV with Messier. I wasn't sure how they'd get along. Seems to be working. It's a good little foil, isn't it? Like, it's a good juxtaposition. Ilya Mikheyev was forgotten as an ex-Maple Leaf when Adam was talking about ex-Leafs on the Oilers Canucks. True. Fluffy Muffins. Adam Wylde, host of TSN Overdrive. Oh, no. Only those three guys can be the hosts of Overdrive. Those guys are phenomenal. What a great show. Great show. I don't know any of them, but I've heard nothing but good things about them as people, too. I don't know why that's important, but I kind of like that. Don't you? Vegas hasn't signed Marcia, so could he be a Leaf? He could. So I'm curious because there's this thing out there in Toronto that and Oilers fans and Canucks fans, if you're in here or if you're a fan of any team, I know there's some Sharks fans in here tonight. Here we go. We got a McDavid trade proposal. Marner, Riley, Nyes, McMahon, Wool, 24-25 firsts. Would that be enough to get it done? McDavid to Toronto for all that? Marner, Riley, Nyes, McMahon, Wool, and your 24 and 25 firsts. I bet that 25, man, can you imagine McDavid and Matthews together? Again, they played on Team North America together. Hey, Edmonton, can we also introduce you in... No, actually, Matt Murray's contract's up. Never mind. TNT is the worst hockey broadcast. Give me Sportsnet any day, and I'm an American. Really? I always really like the clips I see on them. Seasgal, terrible golfers, though, Overdrive. Dude, if they're bad, I am horrific. I'm horrific. I'm such a bad golfer. I do zero practicing, and then I get upset when I'm not good at it. Who's your favorite band from Green Day fan? I bet I can guess yours. My favorite band is Van Halen. Always has been. I was not alive when they were popular, but I did get to see Eddie Van Halen 3 times in concert with David Lee Roth, and my dreams came true. Fabulous. We got an offside. 7:51 left in the second period, guys. As a Leaf fans, why would the Oilers want that? Vito, listen, Vito. We're not trying to make sense here. We're doing trade proposals. We're just having fun. Let's not ask about reason. You have a great podcast. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Mike Fish. Appreciate that. If the Oilers don't get it done, does Draisaitl join Ekblad, Reinhart, and Bennett to compete in the top 4 draft in the same team? I think, Jake, that Draisaitl's contract should be the number one story in hockey If he's not signed July 1st. Because technically they can't even talk about the contract till July 1st. Oh, wow. Here's $100 million. It just fell in his lap. It didn't take weeks to negotiate this. Here it is. Like teams just call you with a contract and go, here. Come on. There's a little tampering going on. Nobody gets upset at a little tampering. They all do it, by the way. Allegedly. I wouldn't trade McDavid for the entire Leafs franchise. Drew Siffeldine. Do you know how rich you could be if you got $8 billion? That's what the MLSE is worth. $8 billion. You wouldn't trade McDavid for that? Dude, I'd trade Gretzky, Lemieux, and McDavid for that. $8 billion. Hey, Adam, how does it feel seeing Florida score more on Swayman in 3 games than the Leafs did the entire series? Man, embarrassing. Zach, you're right. How does it feel? It feels like being a Leaf fan. You would be embarrassed. I would be like, yeah, that's what this is. That's the life we got to live right now. It's been interesting watching the media fallout in Toronto because everybody sort of agrees that they should have moved on a couple years ago, but for sure last year. And it's hilarious because Dubas said it perfectly last year. We got to change something. And then they fired him. And they were like, no, we don't. We're going to do them the same. And then they did him the same. And, they got a little, to Treliving's credit, he had some pretty good free agent signings. Everybody points to John Klingberg, but get over that. Look at Simon Benoit. Look at Bertuzzi Domi. Edmonton was a good pickup for them. Whatever. Doesn't matter. The big guys aren't scoring. It doesn't matter. So, Zach, it feels embarrassing because it's embarrassing. Hank Barber, HF boards fans represent. How many onions would you cut for $20? I don't know. Listen, if I have to cry that much, it might unleash some real feelings. And I'm not here to feel. I'm here for vibes. I'm not here for real feelings. Fogle deep in the Fogle up along the half boards. Not a whole lot happening. Both teams have kind of been in an arm wrestling match in this game. I mean, everyone said the same thing about the Sharks core for 20 years. They went on to win multiple rounds. Mike Fish, you're right. But to be fair, you answered your own question, which is, it's not even a question. They won multiple rounds. They went to a finals. Adam, do you have thoughts on the blog Editor in Leaf? No, other than I always encourage everybody to go after what they want in their career. And this is not an easy business to make it in, and you got to have an opinion. And there's so many Leaf blogs, outlets out there. It's difficult to pay attention to them all. So I limit my scope in terms of, and it's not an insult to anybody, but like there's only so many you can follow. So there's certain writers and certain reporters that I follow that I'm really into, and that's what it is. Oh, I'm here for the Adam clap. Allie, I will get you a clap. I'm sorry. I won't get you the clap, though. Making clap jokes all series. They're hilarious. Unless it's real. 5:55 left in the second period. 52 more viewers, and we hit 1,000. Thank you, Kyle Nicholas. Let's go. Let's get 1,000 on a Friday night at 11:36 Eastern. Ooh. Okay. Now, Susie's out there. Hyman got a little dangerous. Nobody did anything about a pretty rough hit from behind by Nurse on Pettersson. I'm not saying it should have been called. I'm not saying that Nurse wasn't doing the right thing for the Oilers. Oh, here we go. We got a little hatred here. There's Ekholm in there. I'm just going to put my arm around Lindholm and pretend I'm doing something. We're buds. We're budskis. $1K likes and Adam shows the grippers. That's true. That's the rule. If we get 1,000 likes on a stream, out come the feet. Feet people represent. We got a poll up right now. Robert just put one up. Who scores next? Vancouver or Edmonton? Answer it. Right now, everybody thinks Vancouver, which is interesting. Watching from Saturday morning in Asia. That's Klutzy Ninja. That is interesting. Okay, question for you. What? Where in Asia? I don't know if we've looked at a map lately, but Asia, large. A lot of countries, a lot of places. Yeah, only 281 likes. Come on, people. Thank you, Hank. Let's crush those likes. Let's get a little like spike going. I feel like a YouTuber in 2016. Can we smash that like button? Smash that like button. Those creepy eyes. Anyway, it's getting near midnight, and I'm not going to lie to you. I had a terrible sleep last night. I've been tired all day, and now I'm starting to get a little wonky. Wonky's fun. Asia has 14 countries. Yes, but it has a bazillion people and many, many different nations. More what I meant. Western Australia, Bing Tang Warrior. Western Australia. How'd you find us? How do you find us? It's crazy. Sometimes I look at the countries that listen. I'm like, where? Either that's a Canadian who is living across the world, or you're just like, I think it's Victoria Stewart who watches Leafs games in Scotland, and she's watching at like 2 or 3 a.m. How do you do that? DC, heading to the disco soon. Tips on dance moves. Okay, here are my tips, DC. First off, I love that you said you're going to the disco. I didn't even know those still existed. Second, if you're going to dance, thumbs up, bite the bottom lip. Chicks dig. Chicks no. No, they don't. No woman in my life has ever been like, yes, please bite your bottom lip and give me the thumbs up. I think you just groove and you be yourself, right? And take it easy on the drinks. Nobody likes a sloppy drunk at a club. Nobody. So, Klutzy Ninja is listening from Japan. I love this. Are we crushing the like button? We got it. We got South Island, New Zealand. How did you find us? Yeah, Perth, Australia. What's up? The home of the Perth Thunder. I'm in Thailand on a beach. It's 12:39 a.m. Super Potato. Well, thank you. Oh, there are 48 countries in Asia. Well, there you go. I have not counted the countries in Asia. You could say there are 150 million countries in Asia, and I'd be like, okay, it's almost midnight. I don't know. Although I bet I can name most countries in Asia. I bet I can name them all. We're not going to do that, though. We got a hockey game to watch. 5:54 left in the second. The boys are chatting. Is it a puck over glass or is it not? McDavid really wants it to be. Don't listen to Adam. Bite your top lip. You dance like that after the disco? Is that hot? You into it? We a little turned on? Adam, did you see the roast of Tom Brady? I haven't seen it yet. I have to watch it. The playoffs are busy here. I didn't realize, like, we've done a lot more this year for playoffs, I think, than we ever have. And I think there's even more we could be doing and we will be doing. So I have not had the chance to like watch anything. Although I did catch up on the last episode of Vanderpump Rules. And whoever says that show's going away, it's not going away. It's taking a break. It will be back. Adam, speaking of drinks, if the game goes to OT, are you tapping into a wobbly pop? Tim, I have some Muskoka Brewery Tread Lightly in the fridge. I might be able to have a sippy poo. A little sippy poo. Keep it PG, Adam. We don't make us horny. Okay. Oh, we're getting crazy. You should have a 5-hour energy drink. Drewski 96. I haven't seen a 5-hour energy drink in years. Remember when they launched that and they sponsored everything? Man, can we get a 5-hour energy drink sponsor? I haven't heard them on the radio in years. They used to sponsor every show, every podcast, every radio station, every countdown. It's like, oh, it's brought to you by 5-hour energy drink. And it gives you the kick. Kicks you right in the ass so you can work for the man and go home and rage on the way home. 5-hour energy drink doesn't do that. But they did talk about like natural ingredients, you know. Mark Hudak, get Natalie on the stream to confirm your dance moves. Okay, Natalie is at home sleeping. But she could confirm them. She could confirm. Here we go. Oh, broke it up. Oh boy. Myers just got another pen. Oh, no, was it Hyman that grabbed Myers' stick? Power play's over. Yo, okay. Got to be honest. Love Zach Hyman. What the hell was that, dude? What were you doing? You can't be grabbing Tyler Myers' stick. You can skate circles around that guy. Yeah, I know you like Jeremy's calling it a soft call. I don't think it is. It's pretty obvious. Watch. You can't do that shit. You can't, especially on a power play. If you do that 5-on-5 and the penalties are even, they're never going to call that. On a power play, when you're on the power play and you're gaining the advantage on a power play in the playoffs to get the puck first, they're calling it. They're calling it every time. Edmonton, come on, win this. Repay your debt in losses. I listen, guys. I know some of you are not thrilled with the refs, but as a man, the linesman just took one off the knee, and that sucks. That sucks. Oh. Listen, I know you guys are not thrilled with the refs right now, but I'm thrilled with another 4-on-4 opportunity. Remember, last time we got 2 goals in 2 minutes on 4-on-4. So let's hope. Quinn Hughes just doing what he does, wheeling, edge work. Oh, Besser out to... Oh, Roenick was going the wrong way. Oh, yeah, a bit of a high stick there. Is he bleeding? Yeah. See, that is, and I'm not trying to be biased here, that's the kind of stuff you still need to call at this point in the playoffs. If he's bleeding from a high stick and you looked at it, but they're afraid to call it because they don't want the Oilers going down 4-on-3. That's the real reason. And I'll tell you why. The refs don't want to decide the game. They desperately want nothing to do with that. And I don't blame them. I wouldn't want that either. I don't want to be the headline. It's not your job. That's why they wouldn't call that. Although I'm sure Vancouver's going to have something to say. So Dwarov in. Stuart Skinner's looked pretty solid tonight. I got to give him credit. Both goals. The first goal he had no chance on. Second goal was a redirect. No chance on. I am not reading that. Steeson, I am not reading that out loud on my thing. Oh my gosh. McDavid for sure cross-checked Hughes right across the face. Listen, it doesn't matter if it's intentional or not. You have to watch where your stick is. Tabino 12, but in some way, when the refs don't call it, it does mean they are deciding the game. True. Oh my God. Quinn Hughes is literally bleeding. He's got to get off the ice now. He's like, how am I bleeding? What? Okay, yeah, okay, fine. You want to kick me off the ice? That's fine. But why am I bleeding? Why, bro? And by the way, it makes sense that you shouldn't be bleeding on other people. I know they used to, but kind of dangerous. This is crappy. Kelly Sutherland deserves he deserves the booze here. And again, I'm trying not to make this about the refs, but that's such an obvious high stick that he saw and didn't call. And now the guy's bleeding. He should be on a 4-minute power play. And now they got to glue that thing shut until he can get stitches in the second period intermission. That's crap. That's total crap. And Oilers fans, I know you guys are rational enough to know. I know it's the playoffs. I'm not expecting to be rational right at this moment, but I know you guys know that if it was the same thing on Bouchard, you'd be just as pissed. That's crap. And again, like I told you, they don't want to be the ones to decide, but you make a really good point in the chat by saying by not calling it, they've decided. They made a decision. Yeah, I understand why you're mad. I see Canucks fans in the chat. I get it. Does Kelly Sutherland have history with Vancouver? Ben Mahomet says he does. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Sedin Magic 15, officiating atrocious. This isn't a league. It's been good to this point, but I agree with you. You can't have such an egregious high stick. Like I was saying to Oilers fans, oh my God, how is that not goaltender interference? Wow. Oh, so we can hit the goaltender now. Okay. No, yeah, I thought there was interference on the goalie check and hold there too. I agree with you, Brian. I'm not trying to be biased one way here, but Vancouver just got screwed twice. They did. What? Like, look, like, what are we doing here? I know it's a battle, but like, what are we doing? I'm actually surprised. I mean, Zach Hyman's a beast, so, but like, a lot of teams would be like, "Hey, I'm gonna hurt you." Stefan, greetings from Germany. Go Draisaitl. Amen. Hey, you guys have a great hockey program. I'm super jealous. Hockey Canada needs to modernize in so many ways. Pedersen, Lafferty. Oh, he's on the side of the net. Lafferty in Gretzky's office. The the best thing Vancouver can do here is score a goal. That's the way through this. You didn't get the power plays you probably should have got. Kyle M. Adam, all love from Orlando. Thanks for the stream. Thank you for joining, Kyle. Listen, it's 11:48 Eastern Standard Time. You could have been anywhere, but you're here, and I really appreciate that. Here's Miller to Bluger. All right, here comes Zadorov. Oh, Zadorov on a bit of a rush here. Look at this. Across the blue line. Oh! Oh my God! He did that again. He did that to UC Soros. What a goal! He caught Stuart Skinner deep in his net on a weird angle. The exact same goal happened in Nashville. Man, Big Z in for a gigantic paycheck, a Big Z-sized paycheck once this season's over. What a force of nature this guy is. Look at this. Deep in net, Skinner's down, and he catches him right behind the head. Right behind the head. What a freaking shot. Damn. Wow. That's crazy. And it's funny because CC plays him, but if you're CC, you're like, I don't need to play him that hard. I just push him off to the corner. No. Stuart Skinner does not have that. See, this is what you got to do. Vancouver, you kind of got screwed on the Quinn Hughes high stick, right? You kind of got screwed on the Quinn Hughes getting hit and feeling like crap afterwards with, I think it was Zach Hyman that was by accident. And then you got screwed on something else. What you do is you score a goal. You just scored a goal. Jan Cruz, got to extend the man. I'm assuming you're referring to Zadorov. Zadaddy. That's a hell of a goal, man. That's a great goal. That's a fantastic, like, he's done that twice now. You'd think goalies would be like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't be deep in my net, deep in the zone. Drewski 96, Canada needs to make hockey affordable for everyone. Yes. Let's start with housing. Zadorov, perfect fit in Florida. Nah, he's staying in Edmonton, man. That guy is getting, well, first off, he's going to make all the money this year. Does McDavid score it up, tie it up, going in? Whoop. Man, Vancouver's done a good job with McDavid Draisaitl. That's McDavid Draisaitl Hyman. That's a nightmare line. Oh, they almost got another one. Pius Suter has had maybe 20 to 30 scoring chances in the playoffs so far. And he has scored when it counted, including the Game 6 winner. Game 5 winner? Game 6 winner, Nashville. Damn. Zadaddy putting the Vancouver Canucks up. Vancouver has taken a penalty, so they're going to have to serve 14 seconds. Now it looks like it's Pius Suter. This sucks. If you're a Vancouver fan, I get why you're upset. Now, Suter probably deserves this penalty. I just want to have a look at it here. Yeah, that's interference all day. Now you're probably going, but wait a second. McDavid just cross-checked our captain in the face. You'd be right. But we're moving on now because Zadorov scored. So the refs can feel good. Hey, Adam, VIP, love the network. Skinner gives me Sammy vibes sometimes. Kelly, I know. But he also is mostly good. He's mostly good. Zadorov has 3 goals in 4 games. Who could have called that? Like, where are you going to get that prop? That's crazy. Greetings from Yellowknife, Northwest Territories. Hey, thank you, F. Woods. Glad you're here. We're at over 1,000 people, everybody. Hey, can you throw me a like too in the thing? We're at 411 likes. I love that. Listen, it's Friday night. So happy you're here. So happy we're watching the playoffs together. Yeah, but fark me. That's a interesting. There you go, Ben. Zadaddy with a big goal. We're gonna get one of these annoying NHL faceoffs. It's like, guys, there's 0.01 seconds left. We have to do this faceoff. This is annoying. I hate when they do this. It's like it's the end of the second period. You're not going to score. It's a neutral zone faceoff, but you got to play the game. You got to play the game. I get it. I'm in shambles. Come on, Edmonton. Dev, yo, man, listen. You're making a mistake if you're underestimating the Canucks. I made that mistake in November. It's now May. Stop making that mistake. Stop. This is a really good hockey team. People are like, oh, the Oilers are going to crush them. Listen, the Oilers could win this game. They're very much in it. They've looked very good. It's been a very even game. I just feel like you shouldn't underestimate the Canucks. Simple. Username the original. Can I get a shout out? Sure you can. Can I get a super chat? Please. Oh, 2.5 seconds. Okay, that's legit. That's legit. I'll give it to them. Here we go. Who's taking the faceoff? Lindholm. Okay. Let's see if Vancouver actually can get a. You know, it's 1.5 seconds. Vancouver should have pulled the goalie. Why didn't they pull the goalie? There's no way Edmonton could have scored. Thanks for the stream and entertaining me on my extended MCR shift. Stealthy Gaming. What is an MCR shift? I would love to know. I don't know what that is. This is one of the worst officiated games I've seen. Aiden, it was a really bad period for the refs. Miller's talking to Kelly Sutherland right now. I think Sutherland knows he made a mistake. The thing about refs is they're human beings. It's a hard job. I get it. Drewski on the super chat, like $1,000. Just what did you say? What did you say? $1,000. Just get on ice. Are you nuts? Me? I think it's Yayu Wang. If I pronounced your name incorrectly, I apologize. Got to ask Adam, if Zadorov and Tanev trade went to the Leafs based on performance now, I would give up 2 firsts if I had to. Yeah, I will say the same. But dude, it's water under the bridge. They didn't get the deal done. And Tree did. The thing that bothers me is that like the trade for Zadorov was like a 3rd and a 5th. Like, if you're a Vancouver Canucks fan, Patrick Allvin needs a school named after him for that trade alone. It's outrageous. He would have changed the Leafs defense forever. Tanev too. The Leafs are in the second round if those guys are playing for them. The core 4 is great if those guys are playing for them. They've been spectacular. It's a great pickup by Vancouver. And by the way, if you've been watching the Dallas series, Tanev's a factor, man. Every time he's out there. Who else do we have? Gravely Diggs in the super chat. Watched every stream so far. Much fun, Adam. Gravely, thank you so much for joining. Happy to have you here. Water under the fridge, Jeff E. That's not good. Get that fixed. Oilers are getting away with many missed calls. Yes. Kelly Sutherland didn't have a strong second period, but again, refs are people. I get it. I try not to make it about the refs because we've talked about it a lot on the STP, and it is annoying. And by the way, we were right every time we brought it up. But it's like, okay, we got to figure out a way past that. Refs are they're human beings. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to miss stuff. They're going to make a bad call. You got to get past that. Did Zadorov win a cup with the Avs? I don't think so. I thought he was traded right before that to Calgary. Marcus Morotsits. Nurse boards Petey. No call. McDavid sneakily high sticks Hughes. Draw blood. No call. Suter slightly bumps McDusty 2 minutes. Of course. Yeah, man. Listen. I can't disagree with that. There have been a few missed calls on the Canucks, too. There always will be in the playoffs. Thank you, Emily, for the super chat, by the way. You're first. But I want to say that is there a history with Sutherland and the Canucks? Because it seems like you Canucks fans know him really well. I can't, in the way that Leaf fans know Wes McCauley. Flow Hockey says you need 5.2 thousand a year to play. Me? You betcha. I hope you were my agent. Okay, we're going to introduce a clip. Okay, so we're going to an argument that Jesse and I had, and it was a good one. And whenever we have these arguments, people are like, are you guys okay? It's like, yeah, dude, it's a debate. So Jesse and I had a debate about the Ted Lindsay and who should have been on it. Because we could agree on McKinnon. We could agree on Matthews. Remember, Ted Lindsay is best player as voted on by the players. We did not agree on one guy. Jesse said it should have been Kucherov. It was Kucherov. I said it should have been McDavid. Have a watch. I want to say this. Austin Matthews, nominee for the Lady Byng, nominee for the Selke, and just announced nominee for the Ted Lindsay as well.
What? So that's very interesting. Nominated for the Ted Lindsay, not nominated for the Hart. So the Hart is MVP, but
that's most valuable player to their team.
Yes, But the Ted Lindsay, Jesse, maybe you should look up the exact wording, but it's basically best player as voted by the players.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
It was the Lester B. Pearson.
It was the Lester B. Pearson. Now it's the Ted Lindsay. So you can rename trophies.
Sure, you can. But it didn't make sense to have a Canadian prime minister from the 50s as the person on the trophy. That's why.
It was odd.
That's why we don't rename the other trophies. The other trophies you should remain the same.
Who is Hart?
I don't know.
Who is that?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
We can look at that.
I don't know
Memorial.
who that is.
The
Hart
Ted
Memorial.
The Ted Lindsay, if you want the exact definition from the NHL, first awarded in 1970-71 as the Lester B. Pearson Award. The Ted Lindsay Award is presented annually to the most outstanding player as voted by fellow members of the NHLPA.
There you go.
The Hart Memorial Trophy is named in honor of Canadian Dr. David Hart. Dr. Hart, who donated the original trophy to the NHL, was the father of Cecil Hart, a former coach and general manager with the Canadiens. The trophy was first awarded in 23-24.
So he donated his heart as well.
Yes, he did.
So this is the 100th year.
Most
of the
valuable
Hart
for his body.
Yes.
Wait, this is the 100th year of the Hart Trophy?
23-24. Yeah, wow. Yeah.
Nobody has said that, I think.
No, that's wow. Steve Dangle breaking news.
Apparently,
damn, dude. Yeah.
Or would this be the 101st technically?
The 100th. First awarded was 24. Yeah.
So okay.
And so I understand why you don't change that because it's been 100 years of that.
Sure. Now, okay, this is important. Kucherov, McDavid, McKinnon. Those are the three Hart nominees. Who are the Ted Lindsay nominees if Austin Matthews is replacing one of them?
Kucherov and McKinnon.
So McDavid is
McDavid's nominated for the Hart. He's not nominated for the Ted Lindsay. Yes.
So the players are like, this guy's not one of the top three.
They voted Austin Matthews instead. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, like, listen, Matthews is one of the top three defensive forwards in the league based on the Selke, right? He's nominated for it. And he scored 69 goals. For him to not be nominated for the Hart is tough. Like, I understand it, but damn, that's a tough class.
Who overthought it? The writers or the players?
Players. How do you not have McDavid in there? He should be in there every year.
Over Matthews.
Well, they don't agree.
No, over Kucherov.
They don't agree all the time.
Bad. Okay.
Dude, I'm telling you,
You're an
McKinnon,
anti-Kucherov
McDavid, Matthews. That's what I would go with.
Oh, what? That's bad.
For the Lindsay or for the Hart?
For both.
Why is that bad?
Because there's no reason that McDavid should be in there over Kucherov when they have identical stats, except Kucherov's are better.
I think it's better that McDavid came from nothing and caught Kucherov. I think that says something. I honestly, I really look at where Kucherov was. McDavid had what, a 25 point. He was down 25, 30 points.
He was very far
and he
back.
caught him.
Yeah.
Come on. Are we going to erase that?
He also didn't catch him because Kucherov won the Art
He caught him for a second and then
Kucherov won the Art Ross trophy.
His last game was against the Leafs.
He didn't catch him.
Yeah, that doesn't count. Doesn't count against the Leafs.
If you look at what Kucherov did as the solo point getter on Tampa Bay, it's the reason the trophy exists. So why would he be removed when might honestly win the thing over
he'll probably
McKinnon?
will. He probably will.
So then why would you remove him from the top three?
Because it's the Ted Lindsay Award. It's not MVP to your team. It's the best players. And I'm talking about the best player.
I think he was the
as
best,
voted on by the players.
I think he was the best player.
I don't agree. I think McKinnon's a better player. I think McDavid's a better player. I think Matthews accomplishments this year, had he hit 70 goals, let's be honest. If Matthews, and I'm going to be a Toronto homer for a second here, I'll fully admit this.
No,
if he
I know
hit
where you're
70,
going.
is Matthews in one of the top 3 in the heart?
He might be.
Because we're obsessed with round numbers in this sport.
Yep. In all sports.
Yeah, my question, I don't understand why you're putting Matthews over Kucherov.
I personally, I think that in the Ted Lindsay conversation, we're talking about the best players. McKinnon, McDavid, and I'd say based on his season, Matthews. Yes, and I stand behind that. I'm not talking about MVP to their team, which is a weird designation.
Yeah.
Because in every other sport, it's just MVP. Not MVP to their team.
Mm-hmm.
I get why Kucherov is going to win that award. He is the Tampa Bay Lightning. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
McKinnon, where will the Avalanche be without McKinnon? Not great.
Sure.
Not great, Bob.
Yeah.
The Oilers, I think, could survive. They're deep enough now that I think they'd survive a 20 game.
You don't think
McDavid.
the 100 assists is more impressive than the 69 goals?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
I honestly don't. And I know it's been done less. I know.
Okay.
I know.
Because one is
far
more rare than the other.
I think goals are worth double
Wait,
this.
No, I think you're all missing the number one argument against Kucherov. Fuck him.
Yeah, but also fuck him. Fuck him. No,
because I don't think the conversation we're having is Kucherov over McDavid, because I think that should be the 3. You're removing Kucherov to put in Matthews.
What about Kucherov was rude at the All-Star game?
Yeah. It's a good point.
Jesse,
he gave up.
It's a joke.
I guess Jesse's upset about this. He's really upset.
I'm trying to find your reasoning.
It's pretty obvious, isn't it? He almost had 70 goals. He had 69 goals.
Yeah.
McDavid came back and squashed a 25-point lead midway through the season that Kucherov had. And then you've got Nathan McKinnon, who at some point is going to get his Revenant trophy. I don't think
right.
If I'll listen to the argument that you'd put Kucherov in over McKinnon, I'll listen to that. But I will not take this Austin Matthews slander. He's a Hart nominee if he gets 70. I know he didn't, but I think it's crap that he got 69.
No, we're not talking about the Hart Trophy. We're talking about the Ted Lindsay.
Okay, and the Ted Lindsay is the best player.
And he's nominated for the Ted Lindsay and McDavid's.
Yes, and isn't Sasha Barkov normally nominated for this too? Isn't this just like the Sasha Barkov trophy where it's like all the players think he's super great and he's underrated? Isn't that the thing? Yes, am I right on that, Steve?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I'm telling you.
You would remove. So, what's your top 3 in the voting if you'd remove McKinnon? So McKinnon comes in.
I think
third.
McDavid's 1. I think McKinnon's 2. I think Matthews 3.
You just said you would remove McKinnon.
I'll listen to it
before Matthews.
We're talking about best players.
Yeah.
But I think you have to look at what the season was.
Well,
I great
Drew. He just quit.
Yeah.
He'll live. He'll live. He takes enough shots at the Leafs. I'm sure he can survive this.
Drew? When? Name one.
I think when we look back on this season, like if you went 5 years in the future and you look back on the season, you'd say the 2 most outstanding players this season were McKinnon and Kucherov. I think that's McDavid erasure. I really do. I think that's Matthews erasure. I think that's a joke. I think Matthews had one of the craziest goal scoring seasons we've had in 30 years. Mm-hmm. We have McDavid. Here's the thing. McDavid didn't win the Art Ross. Mm-hmm.
But if Knobloch is the coach from game 1 and they're not losing 8-0 and trying a defensive scheme that doesn't work for the first 20 games, McDavid wins the Art Ross hands down all day.
But he didn't.
Yeah, but you know the answer to that. Over the course, his points per game after Knobloch takes over.
Unfortunately, we don't live in the world where hypotheticals.
That's still my reasoning. Kucherov has the best coach in the league. He has the best coach in the league. John Cooper, for my money, is the best coach in the league. They didn't have that
takes off like 30
instability.
They
didn't have the instability the Oilers did. Are we just going to ignore the facts?
That should remove votes from him. Because
okay, you're right. You know what? Let's not put McDavid in the Ted Lindsay. Are we out of our mind?
He's not currently.
That's what I'm like. This is crazy. He's the best player on planet Earth.
But that's not what it's. Who had the most outstanding season this year?
He caused their turnaround. The Oilers were never going to make the playoffs if they kept going. What would they have been? Where were the McDavid Oilers in November?
When past the Thanksgiving line where, the American Thanksgiving line where it's like, if you're not in the playoffs, you got a low chance of making it. And all of a sudden they turn it around and they're challenging for the division. They're in the second round of the playoffs. What are we talking about?
You would not believe how much that clip bothered Tampa Bay fans. They were so upset. Did Leaf fans come to my rescue? No. They're like, sorry, we're too busy crying about what happened. But I don't blame them for that. I got to tell you, Tampa fans were not happy with me. People are saying, 19 says 100 assists are not better than 69 goals. I tend to agree with that, although 70 goals has been, or 69 goals has been done more often. I still think, here's how I look at it in my head. A goal is worth 1, an assist is worth half. That's how I look at it. I could be wrong. It's a little bit of an oversimplification, but I've always believed that goals are just so much more important. They're so much harder to get. And Matthews, as Dave points out, only had 2 empty net goals all year. It's not like he was, just ripping it all the time. Anyway, you know what? It's nice to have those debates because, as a Leaf fan, before Matthews won the Hart a couple years ago, it had been like 65 years since a Leaf won the Hart, which is embarrassing. I don't think a Leaf has ever won the Vezina. Embarrassing, right? Rough. So it's nice to see Leafs in the conversation. I think Gilmore got a Selke in 1993, which was like the nice way of saying, hey, we're giving the Hart to Gretzky. It probably belongs to you, but he's Wayne Gretzky. And honestly, I think I'm a Toronto fan. I got my Toronto glasses on. If you go back and you look at the 93 season, there's a lot of arguments that Doug Gilmour was far more valuable to his team than Gretzky was to his. Just saying. Hot takes, baby. Hot takes. Are any Kings fans in the chat ready to get mad? Anyway, so we got an exciting third period. By the way, where I am, it is 12:10 a.m. I'm having a coffee with my face on it. How do you even make that face? Is that close? Anyway, I'm going to be drinking this coffee. We're going to get a little goofy. Do you know when you were like in grade 4, grade 5, you have a sleepover at someone's house, it's lights out at midnight, and you stay up till 1 o'clock, like giggling because you're just laughing because you're with your buddies and you're a little delirious because it's sleepy? It's kind of how I feel. I feel like we're at like a sleepover. Somebody farted. Everybody's giggling. Some people on the couch, some people on the floor. Why is it that we all slept so well at those sleepovers? I could crush us. I just crawl into a hard, crappy basement floor that's cold. It's like one little thin layer of 70s carpet that's like brown and yellow. And my pillowcase and my pillow. And I crawl into that sleeping bag and how's that possible? How'd we do that? You ever just think about that? When's the last time, if you're in your 30s, when's the last time you crashed out on someone's couch? Been a while, right? One day that just stops and you don't even know it's the last time you're crashing on someone's couch. One day you're like, you're at the club, you're single and you're like, the buddy's like, hey, you want to come over? after, and you're like, oh, if I go over, then I got to crash on the couch. No, I'm just going to go home, man. I had having a good time. There's like a bridge you cross, and then all of a sudden you're there. The sleepovers are done. Your prime sleepover years are like from 8 to maybe like 28. And then after that, you're like, I just want my bed, man. It's crazy. I find it ironic that a Montreal Canadian has never won the Rocket Richard Trophy. Weaves. Damn. True. But it's not like a Montreal Canadian hasn't led the league in goal scoring, right? That happened many, 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 many times. The Richard Trophy just didn't exist. I still think there should be a most assists award. Like, for sure should be a most assists award. And call it the Wayne Gretzky, because Wayne had a bazillion assists. And it's ridiculous that, I just want to be honest here. Don't you think it's kind of ridiculous that Mark Messier has an award named after him, but Wayne Gretzky doesn't, and Mario Lemieux doesn't? And I think there should be a Bobby Orr award for the best offensive performance by a defenseman. You got the Norris Trophy for like best overall defenseman. I think you can add a couple awards there. I think Bobby Orr deserves one. Oh, off the post. Svilovs was able to get over it. Oh, baby, I thought that was in. 1932 is the time if we're aligning our TV streams. Guys, damn. Wow. Wow. Damn, I can't believe that didn't go in. Sorry, I didn't have much to say there. I was like, wow. I'm just watching the play like I'm watching at home. That was great. Enjoyed that. Sorry, guys. Oh, that was a damn good block by Zadorov. And oh, baby, did that sting. Oh, mama. Look at him. He's in pain. Damn. Man, he's having an MVP game. The city of Vancouver owes him a fat-ass contract once these playoffs are done for them. Oh, I thought that was going in. Just a little wide of the net. Good little setup by Draisaitl there, McDavid. And was it McDavid? Not McDavid. No. What was Hyman and Nuge that were in deep? Why did I say McDavid? Why would he be in that deep? That's not where he plays. Evan Bouchard. McDavid. Shvilovs. Another save for Shvilovs. Azuri Sky. Holy crap, I just found out Bruins game ended with fans throwing things onto the ice. How long before that becomes a delay of game over with fans doing it? If it became like a huge problem, I guess, but like I don't think it's going to be a big problem. I look at it like, you know what I like about Bruins fans for that one? I don't, throwing stuff on the ice is somewhat dangerous unless it's a hat trick. I like that Bruins fans expect more. Leaf fans just leave because we expect less. I like that Bruins fans are like, no, I paid a freaking fortune to be here tonight, and you guys didn't give me anything. I'd be pissed. I know there's some people here. Hank Barber, pump the brakes on the Cooch hate. Yo, man, like we were having a debate of whether we would have Kucherov ranked in the top 3 or 4th. Somehow that's very upsetting to people. I understand why First Take does, is LeBron still the best player? Like literally every show is a topic. People get heated about that stuff. It's wild. I couldn't believe the response to it. I guess I should have been prepared, but I just was really like we really do love our guys, right? Pettersson behind the net, in Gretzky's office, behind Gretzky's, that's where Gretzky started his office. Hronik, Hughes with a nice little move. He might drive here. Little backhand. Nice play. Nobody to pick up that rebound. That was a good play. And you know what I respected about Quinn Hughes there? He put it on the net. He didn't just fake a backhand and then wheel around the net and potentially get stripped. No, on the net, rebound. On the net, rebound. On the net, rebound. You make a great play. The whole point of making a great play is to shoot. Can you tell I'm a Leaf fan? Because they never freaking shoot. Meme Express, Cooch hates the media like a lot. Dude's here to play hockey, and that's about it. I kind of like that. I respect that. I'm a member of the media. I'm not going to be the media that's in the dressing room, but I'm a member of the media. And I'll tell you, don't need the player to like you. Our job's to talk about the players. Their job's to play the game. Don't need him to like you. Don't even need his quote, to be honest. I think post-game quotes can be overrated. Sometimes they're great. You know who's good at really finding a quote? Christopher Johnston. CJ. Unbelievable quotes he finds. Your argument for why Kucherov shouldn't be in the top 3 because of how much his stats depended on the power play while other players destroyed at 5-on-5. Yeah, I mean, there's that too. Listen, there's been this weird thing since advanced stats kind of came in, and I'm a huge proponent of advanced stats. I always have to say that because people are like, oh, it's like being anti-vax in hockey. But I'm not a huge proponent of the publicly available advanced stats. I got to look, and I've talked about this. Megan Shake's company. Jesse and I got to look behind the scenes. She kind of gave us a run through last summer, and it was some of the most unbelievable stuff I've ever seen. And it's not because publicly available stats or models shouldn't be perfected, shouldn't be worked on, or whatever. They just shouldn't be taken as gospel. There is so much proprietary information that these teams all have. You could get lost in it. It's an ocean of information, and it's far more accurate. So I don't know where I was going with this. Oh yeah. So when it comes to advanced stats, it was interesting because up until about 10 years ago, nobody really made much notice of power play points versus 5-on-5 points. And the argument was made, and a strong argument can be made. Here we go. Oh, Fogle up high. Strong. Ooh. Evander Kane just up-ended Quinn Hughes and did the knee thing. Watch when they replay that hit. He just got his knee up off of, and of course, Quinn Hughes' helmet falls off for the second time this game. Edmonton clearly with a mandate to be physically more dominant, which I think they've got more size in their lineup, at least the forward position, than Vancouver can do. Vancouver does, and they really haven't used it to their advantage. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is Kucherov being a power play merchant. There was it almost became like passe or bad to be someone who was spectacular on the power play. And I got to tell you, goals are goals, number one. Number two, the team that wins the special teams battle wins the series 9 times out of 10 in the playoffs. So Kucherov being a power play merchant, oh, well, he got his goals on the power play. As much as I would put McDavid in there in the Ted Lindsay ahead of Kucherov, I do want to say, and I think it's important to say, that converting on the power play is one of the most important things you can do in hockey. It's so obvious, and yet we overthought it. See this hit? Oh my God. Damn, Evander Kane crushed him, but Quinn's fine. And so, listen, as a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, again, I say we had terrible power play stats, terrible PK stats too in the playoffs. They got better. If we'd been able to convert on the power play, we'd be playing in the second round right now, getting rinsed by the Florida Panthers. And honestly, I look at this and I go, man, here we go. McDavid, and he scores, baby. What a goal. That's a vintage Connor McDavid steal, sprint, score. It's a goal. A lot of steal, sprint, score. Unbelievable shot. And you know what? Good little move. Look at the Edmonton Oilers fans with the wigs on. Amazing. What a goal. That is perfect. Perfect. Myers, you have to have that, and then he falls. Myers, you got to get hard on the puck, as Mike Babcock used to say. Look at this. See, McDavid just does a little tip. You got to go for the hard on the puck, hard on the body. You know what? Myers would have been smarter to just get a hooking call there. And you know, you got to remember, Sphelovs is a rookie goaltender. He's the third stringer. You can't leave him open like that. Damn. Adam on the verge of a vintage all-nighter with 4 overtimes. I don't know, guys. Like, I'll be honest, the game's been pretty freewheeling. I think we get at least 3 more goals. We're not going to OT, are we? If we're going to OT, you have to stay up too. You can't leave me by myself. You can't leave me here by myself. There's 14-18 left, by the way. 14-16 left. 14-14. I got to call it the clocks more. Producer Hayden's been on me about that. He's like, oh, tell him what time it is. We actually have a good clip waiting for you if if we go to overtime from the STP this week. So, but if not, you'll just have to watch the STP. Here we go. Almost 1,000 people hanging out tonight. How about that, huh? Can we toss a like? Can we get to 500 likes, guys? 489 right now. Can I get 11 likes? Is that possible? 13:35 left in the third period. Vancouver was looking pretty strong to start there, but Edmonton came and they decided we're going to physically dominate you, and they have the size to do that. I have to say, Vancouver's forward group does look a little bit small. If the Oilers decided they wanted to create, like, especially with their defense, if the Oilers decide, hey, we want to impose our physical will, they can do that on most Canucks players. Zadorov and Myers being the exception, but that could be a weapon for them. And you look at the way Nurse has played tonight. The guy's just been violent. Look at him right now. He's giving JT Miller the worst time. Darnell Nurse makes some goofy mistakes on defense, but you wouldn't want to be in front of the net while Darnell Nurse is putting his stick into your back. Bouchard with a shot. Filov with a save. Good setup by Zach Hyman there. This first line is looking more and more dangerous. It was only a matter of time. The Canucks have got to get back to their game of neutralizing this if they're going to stop it. Susie, oh man, what a save. Filov on Draisaitl. Damn. Oh, watch out. Don't get the penalty. Get the stick down, Besser. Hugh Suter with the interception. He's going to get to center, and he's going to dump it, and then you're going to chase. Gravely Diggs, I should feel bad for you at STPN, but it's only 9:24 here. I'm in Southern California. I'm down for a 4 OT. Well, fine. You have to stay here then. Tyler Myers is my favorite redwood tree. I like that. Is there a Russian version of a redwood tree? Like, is there like a Russian tree that's big and thick like the redwood? Because that's what Zadorov would be. I'd take a Nurse cross-check to the back over a Zadorov / any day. Liam, you might have a point. Okay, that was the face-off. 12:05 left in the third. We got a tie game, folks. Edmonton out shooting Vancouver 22-16. It was even for a bit, but Edmonton, it actually in each... Oh, good steal, Mikheyev. Edmonton has come out strong all 3 periods, and Vancouver sort of clawed their way back into each period so far. Been a few missed calls by Kelly Sutherland, but nothing egregious yet this period. It makes me think that to pay Vancouver back, they can pretty much do whatever they want to Edmonton, and Sutherland's not going to call it. He can't. If you're going to game manage like that, and you're not going to call Quinn Hughes. Here we go. To Pettersson. Didn't. You know what? Respect what Garland tried to do there. He's still making it happen. It didn't work. Look at how deep Edmonton's defense is. They collapsed. You get it. You got Hughes and Hronek out there. Garland, the sideboard, always making something happen, and he always comes up with the puck. I love Connor Garland. I think Kyle Dubas tried to get him for the Leafs, and watching him night after night after night in these playoffs, he is a Dubas guy. He's exactly the kind of guy Dubas likes. Smallish, credible puck handler, pretty good forechecker, and like a water bug. Pronik, I'll be here, Mr. Wylde. Go Sens, go. Hey, we got a Sens fan in the chat. Welcome. You know what's fun is that I know everybody pokes fun at each other on our channel, and you guys make fun. You give us shit for being Leafs fans, and we totally deserve it. But it's so lovely that that, our little show, which did start out as pretty much like a Leaf show and an NHL show, has become, it's still a Leaf show and an NHL show, but here we go. Oh no. Besser. Did it go off the goalie or did it go high? Oh, either way. I just think it's really cool that we got fans of literally every team here. I just think that's awesome. I think this is beyond what any of us could have ever hoped. And you should know, because we don't tell you enough. It's really special. Oh! Sam Lafferty off the post. Leaf great, Sam Lafferty. That's why they didn't get to the second round this year. They were missing Sam. And look, he's the difference. Vancouver's in the second round this year. Who do they have? Sam Lafferty. Dakota Joshua looking dangereux. Ronick misses the pass. Oh, that was looking like sustained zone time. Garland again. Dude, Connor Garland is so dangerous. And he's pissed at Desharnais. Desharnais just gave him a brutal slash. It's the Seaweed Man. SDPN rocks. Go Habs. Go Florida. Garland is good, man. Go Panthers. Kraken fans here. You guys are tolerable Leaf fans. I'll take that. Imagine Exotic Salad 701. Imagine not being a VIP. Couldn't be me. You can't miss out on the 4th episode each week. We were going to talk about the Brady roast, and we did get to it, but I forget what we spent most of the episode on. It wasn't that. Hockey is fun, and if you can't make fun of yourself, you're probably not a very fun person. Sens suck right now, but I love them. Hey, man, I get it. Leafs sucked for a long time. I loved them every step. Canucks fan since Pavel Bure years, and who could blame you? I get why I get why Canucks fans, you're mad at the Oilers. Not at the Oilers, excuse me. You're mad at the refs for giftings and things to the Oilers. I get it. Oilers fans, I want you to be prepared for something. There could be something egregious that happens tonight that doesn't go your way. And you're just going to have to bite your lip and go, okay, that's payback for McDavid's high stick on Quinn Hughes. And I got to be honest with you, Kelly Sutherland's not going to have a fun day tomorrow if Edmonton wins this game and that call wasn't made. I'm just going to say it. Kelly Sutherland is going to be persona non grata in Vancouver. Kelly Sutherland, where is he from? Kelly Sutherland, NHL referee. He was born in Richmond, BC. He will not be welcome at home. Kelly Sutherland is from Richmond. How hilarious is that? Wow. Oh boy. Don't go home for Christmas. Sorry, Mom. I'm not going back there. Look at Zadorov. The worst part is we knew Sutherland was going to be like this tonight. Nobody has explained to me, Kelly gets what Kelly deserves. Nobody's explained to me the Canucks history with Kelly Sutherland, but there's a couple of Leafs, Eric Furlat and Wes McCauley. I think the Leafs are like 1-8 in Wes McCauley playoff games. Part of that is they're the Leafs, but there have been some brutal. I thought that puck was in. There have been some brutal games. What's the Kelly Sutherland story? Give me the Kelly Sutherland story. How did you guys know he was going to be like this? I don't think he's ever been a problem in Toronto. Not that I can remember. Look at Sutherland's record against the Canucks. Can you guys look it up? Leafs signed Zadorov for $5 million a year. Skyler, I would love to get Zadaddy to Toronto for $5 million a year. I think you should be looking more at 7. If you get a bidding war, 7.5, 8. He's 6 foot, $1 billion. He scores insane goals. And you're like, Adam, that's as much money as Morgan Riley makes. I know. And is he the defenseman Morgan Riley is? No, he's a completely different style. But he's a right shot, gigantic, rush scoring defenseman in the playoffs. Everybody's interested in this guy. Vancouver's going to re-sign him. But what's interesting about Vancouver is Phil Hronek's up too. So you got to make a choice, right? Like the cap picture, you can't keep them both. Can you? Who do you trade off the roster? Anyway, you know what? Oh, Kelly Sutherland played a big part in the 2011 Boston series. So, okay. Okay, so that makes sense. That makes sense. I have to be honest. I followed hockey my whole life, but I didn't follow it to the level that like I knew what the refs' names were, except for Ray Scampanello, who was a very famous linesman who was awesome. And like there was a ref. What's his name? The guy that didn't call the Gretzky high stick on Doug Gilmour in the playoffs screwed the Leafs over. Kerry Fraser. That was the only ref's name I knew growing up. Kerry freaking Fraser. McDavid. Man, can we talk about, first off, McDavid looks like a completely different player than he did through the first 4 periods of the series. He's looking so much better. The second thing I want to say is Arturs Shilovs is just really keeping it calm and cool. He's let 3 goals in, and he's playing a very simple game. He's mostly staying on his feet, which, by golly, if I were a Toronto Maple Leaf goaltender, boy, I'd like to stay on my feet too. He's staying on his feet. His positioning is strong, and he's able to usually catch what the Oilers are doing. When he doesn't, puck usually goes past him. Best ref was Wes McCauley, 53.50%. Kelly Sutherland, 24 votes. Wow. Mick Magoo, anyone? So Kelly Sutherland, you guys remember him from 2011? I guess you wouldn't. You wouldn't forget. If a ref screwed you in the Stanley Cup final, you never forget that guy. Sutherland was a part of a 10-7 loss versus Minnesota where they had 4 5-on-3 penalties. Oh my God. Exotic Salad 701 VIP, shout out. If Vancouver wins, it's GG's. I'll cheer for them. Love that. The ref's not catching too many men. That led to Vancouver's third goal. Yeah. They're human beings. They are going to miss stuff. Doesn't make it great. Leafs need to land Lindholm and Zadorov from Vancouver. I wouldn't hate that. They got to figure out. Here's the thing with the Leafs that Vancouver has figured out. Look at Vancouver's depth chart. Look at Edmonton's depth chart. Let's just have a look at their lines. McDavid, to me, counts for 2 centermen. Draisaitl is another great centerman. If you need support up the middle, you move Draisaitl off the McDavid line. McDavid, Draisaitl, Nuge. And then you got Ryan McLeod and Derek Ryan, whoever you want to do your 4th line, right? That's really good. And you know, the left side isn't as strong for Edmonton, but if you want to move Corey Perry up, or you got options. Vancouver, JT Miller, Elias Pettersson, Elias Lindholm. Elias Lindholm was the top line center in Calgary for like 5 years. Pettersson, he would be the top line center on most teams. JT Miller would be the top line center on most teams. That's a real factor. It's a big deal. It matters. They really, all of them drive play. And what I like about Lindholm is he seems to be totally comfortable in a defensive role. Him and Joshua and Garland obviously had a great game last game. They can score. They will score. But man, it's crazy. It's almost like when you spread salary around, you can have a more balanced lineup. I don't believe in that stuff. I'm from Toronto. Couldn't be me. The Edmonton Snoil boys are going to lose. I don't know what that means. Snoil? Vancouver has more cap space than the Leafs. Yeah, pretty much everybody does. I think the Leafs actually paid the most in total salary this year because they had a bunch of guys on LTIR. I think it was like $92 million. A lot of good it did them. NHL has always followed the rule if a player high sticks another and draws blood, 4-minute penalty. So what do you think? Oh, listen, it was a missed call. And it happened in front of him. It's inexcusable. But he had a rough second period. And you know what? Vancouver responded the only way that you can. You cannot control the ref. You can control scoring goals. And they did it. I know the game's tied. That third goal, that's a Zadorov goal. That's still giving me life. That was crazy. How does Zadorov do that? It's 7:54 left in the third. I'm going to do a little clap here. I got to do this more often. I just get into talking to you guys and I'm watching the game, but I'm not like narrating the game. I maybe need to do a little bit more of that. I don't know. SDPN, have another donut. I freaking love donuts. Okay. You have another donut. In fact, if we ever meet, I'll buy you 10 Timbits. How's that? Alert, reports of power grid going down worldwide due to solar storms. That doesn't sound fun. I haven't seen anything about that. I guess the Aurora's crazy tonight for people. Very jealous of everybody in Sudbury that's watching it. Donuts are delicious. Skinner goes to his knees when he shouldn't. Yeah, Skinner reminds me a little bit of a better placed Ilya Samsonov. And what I mean by that is when Sammy's playing well, he still doesn't like Sammy when he's playing well is on his feet more. When he's playing not confident, he drops too quick. And he never knows where his posts are. I'm telling you, that guy's got so much talent. If he can figure it out between the ears, he's going to be a really, really good NHL goaltender. But it's not going to be in Toronto. And that's a shame. Because Leaf fans really did love him. But you know, you gotta pull it together. Whatever team he goes to next, maybe one with a less of a spotlight, with a good goaltending coach, Sammy's gonna be good. But my point with Skinner is that Skinner always knows where his posts are. I do find he goes down a little early. Joshua Doss, don't offer to get us donuts if you won't buy the buds apples, Adam. You're right, Josh. I need to get on that. Have a good weekend, Adam. I'm sadly. Username the original. Well, I'm sad. I'm not sure what you're sadly doing, but I hope it's happily because it's the weekend, baby. Let's go. Aren't you an early riser out of the pods from your radio days? How'd you draw the late game? Donnie. Actually, Donnie, I hate waking up early. Hate it. Passionately. I did mornings for 10 years, and not a single day did I enjoy getting out of bed. Not one. But I love late nights. I always have. It's just in radio, you couldn't make any money on the late night because no one's listening. So that's why I'm doing the late night games. I love this. It's my favorite. Does Tim Hortons have the French cruller? If not, I will never go there. I think they brought it back. They brought the French cruller and the walnut crunch thing back. By the way, that walnut crunch thing was so good back in the day. Why they ever got rid of that, I don't know. And now I think there's like Tim Hortons pizza, which I'm interested to try. Ronak behind the net. Yanmark. Good pressure here by the third line for Edmonton. They've been a bit quiet in the series, to be honest. Like I would expect, Corey Perry against Toronto would just mess them up. Vancouver's done a really good job of not really paying attention to Corey Perry. And that's sort of what you have to do. Ignore the bully. Ronak has his stick knocked out of his hands, and the puck obviously comes back to him because that's the law of nature. Vancouver needed that. Ronak is pooperood. Sometimes I can't tell if it's Ian Cole's beard or Philip Ronak's beard. Chocolate cruller is the bomb. Isn't it called the honey cruller? It might be the honey cruller. Sammy's so frustrating. I wish we had Tim Hortons in the States. I think you do in certain states. Adam, can we get a clock check? Yes, 5:20, 5:17, 5:16, 5:15, 5:14. We will get a clock for you guys. Promise. We're going all the way to the Stanley Cup finals. So we'll get you a clock. SDPN is really knocking out the streams. All of you do 5-star jobs. Thank you, DXT Rue 2, DXK2. Oh my God! How did Seeloffs keep that out? Oh my God! The Edmonton Oilers should be up 4-3 right now, and a rookie goaltender who's 22 years old, or is he 23? Is keeping the puck out against the best offensive team in the world. This is the best line in the world, the best line in hockey right here. McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman. Over 120 goals scored this season. Over 250 points scored this season between the three of them. Isn't that nuts? And Seeloffs he's just rocking it. 23 years old. There is a Tim Hortons in China, Korea, and the Middle East. How wild is that? I wonder what kind of food they have there. And they're also in New York State. Oh, man. 12:43. Can you tell I didn't sleep well last night? Richard, how could it be the best line if Kucherov isn't on it? Well, he's got to have line mates. Nothing against Stammer, but not the same. McDavid is so good. Listen, if Draisaitl and McDavid ever don't play together, if one of them ever leaves, it's going to be like, I hope they don't, because it's like, it feels a little like Gino and Sid, you know? Such a perfect pair. But if Draisaitl were to say go, you're going to see just how good Draisaitl is. People outside of Edmonton ignore him because McDavid soaks up so much of the oxygen because he's Canadian, but whatever. Dude, Draisaitl's insane. Adam needs some Red Bull. Same. Yeah. You guys yawn with me, by the way? Did I pass it on? Oh. Jan Cruz. Would you rather extend Zadorov or keep Hronek? Oh. See, here's what it is. You can replace Zadorov's size, but you cannot replace the scoring touch. And there's something about the way he plays. It's unbelievable. But here's the other side of it. Philip Hronek and Quinn Hughes together are really special. And I am surprised that Vancouver hasn't got a deal done there. I would expect his deal to be, if again, I think he's a restricted free agent, Philip Hronek, whereas Zadorov is not. So Philip Hronek, this is probably an $8 million contract, 8x8. Does that sound off? And he'd be worth it. I think you gotta extend Philip Hronek first. And then you can look, here's the thing you look at with Hronek. So what's he make? Like $4.5 million right now? So that's really only he might make $8 million, but it's really only $3 million added to the roster. And then Myers' contract is expiring. Zadorov makes like 3.75 right now. Myers makes 6. So if you look at it like, okay, we're subtracting Myers and we're keeping Zadorov, it only costs you really $1 million more. But then you got to fill out the rest of the roster. Philip Hronek, noted Alan Walsh client. Ronke played himself out of a big contract since All-Star break. I don't know. He's looked pretty good. Clock check, 318. Sorry, guys. Ask for that clock check every time you want it. I'll give you one. I'm sorry about that. 318. I got to get... I get so into chatting with you that I'm like, you probably should do that. 3.75 according to Cap Friendly. Yeah, you got to look at... Take the money that you're paying Tyler Myers and give it to Philip Hronek. And listen, if the Canucks have a good season, like a good end, like let's say they get to the East or the West Finals. If they got to the East Finals, that'd be even more impressive. Maybe Myers signs for less. And so you're not worried about your third pair as much. Maybe Myers just likes it in Vancouver and wants to stay there and win a cup, because he had a lot of tough years. Like Like playing in Buffalo in the worst Buffalo years. Ugh. Terrible team. So maybe, I don't know. Dave Glatz, Zadorov is only going to get like 5 at best. Dave, I think you are underestimating right shot, unrestricted free agent defensemen who are 6 foot, whatever he is, 6'9". Oh, wow. Fogle. I am really surprised that Sutherland did not give Warren Fogle a trade or a thing. Edmonton's dominated Vancouver in this third period. Vancouver only has 3 shots. Ugh. I'm surprised Fogle didn't get called, but again, the refs don't want to be the headline tomorrow. And although Kelly Sutherland's missed a lot, I don't think he's welcome back in Richmond anytime soon. Hank Barber talking about to go off in the presser after the game. No, not if he wins. Maybe you just win. You just got to win sometimes. .238 left in the game, by the way. 2:38. I agree with you guys. Fogle deserved a penalty there. Edmonton is getting away with. Oh, man. That would have been. Wow. That was almost a goal. Man, this McDavid line has looked dangerous tonight. No surprise. Shilov, another great save. He was, the other thing too on that. I think it's Ekholm that just took that shot. Nobody in front of the net. It's very Leafy. You got to have somebody who's disrupting him. If he sees it, he's going to stop it. Oh, wow. Myers. Boy, oh boy. See, this is the thing. I know he drives Vancouver fans nuts, but he does make plays like that. 2:17 left in the third period. Don Juret. Oh, okay. And there's the linesman fake dropping the puck again. We love that, don't we? All right, here we go. 2:16, 2:15, 2:14, 2:13. That's where we're at. Is Zadorov? Oh, I thought Zadorov was right shot. Maybe I'm just tired. Whatever. He's big and he's a defenseman. And the NHL's getting bigger. Everybody wants this guy. Trust me. All right. Vancouver really hasn't got a lot going in this period. They've been lucky. Your boy Svilov has got his shit together. Connor Garland. He is half the size of Vinny Desharnais. Oh, man. Connor Garland is dangerous. Mikheyev down deep. We're going to overtime, aren't we? Hughes. Oh! Guys, I think we're going to overtime. It's an icing for Edmonton. 1:14 left. Chicago Bulls fans, stop spamming the chat. Who's spamming the chat? 1,200 people here. Guys, it's late. It's 12:51. Robert from the SDPN account. One of you score. Robert wants to go to bed. Sorry, Rob. We're up late tonight, buddy. Producer Hayden's ready to go. Rob's ready to go. I'm ready to go. 1:12 left. Canucks fans with the towels in the air. If the Canucks score here, it's going to be like their 5th shot of the period. They got a tired third line out for the Edmonton. Hughes across. Myers. Oh, Myers. Oh, my God. Why are you backing off, dude? There's like a minute left in the game. He's like, no, let me play it safe. Stop it. Stop it. Myers with a bat. It's a bad pass. Oddly enough, Rick Tocchet has sent out, is that Bluger, Besser, Pettersson? Is that right? It is. bizarre line combos here. No Roenick. Here we go. Teddy Bluger on a bit of a break. Oh, just puts it by Bouchard. He's just going to go for the hit. Bouchard does not like getting hit. We know that. You know what? I don't blame him. These guys are enormous. Yo, we're going OT. We're going OT. Guys, stop saying 5 OT. I'm going to be so upset with you. Don't you freaking dare. Don't you freaking dare. Stop that. OT, customer satisfaction. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going OT. It's happening. We're going OT. The Canucks survive. The Oilers dominate. They tie up the game. Guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm freaking exhausted. But we're staying up late, and we're watching this damn game. We're watching this damn game. It's going to be a good time. All right? Okay. So here's what we need from you. Here's what we need from you. All right? I need you to think about this. 8 OT. Stop it, Catherine. Stop it. Stop putting that evil on me. I am not at my normal energy level. I'm sure you can tell. I'm exhausted. Look at these bags under my eyes. I had these bags under my eyes at 8 o'clock tonight. It's now 1 a.m. in Toronto. Come on. I want never-ending OT. Dave, do you just want to... It's like a cricket match. Just goes on forever. Oh, baby. 11 OT. Stop it, J Money. Stop it. Adam passes out on the live. I'm not going to lie to you. We're going to play a clip here in a second. And I might lie down. I'm sitting on a couch right now. And it's looking an awful lot like a bed. 420-69 OT. It's nice. Edmonton will get a power play. It won't last that long. Just don't drink Prime Energy, LOL. Yeah, I actually heard that Prime's got, what are they called? Forever chemicals that literally never break down. I was like, really? Adam, get your jaw checked. That clicked out loud. Not the first time in the pods, too. I've noted it. Ben, yeah, listen. So strangely enough, I've had jaw problems since I was probably 15 or 16. Bizarre story, but I went to see a physio about it, and I have a scar. Can you see this on the camera? I don't know if you can. It's right here. It's a pirate scar, and the guy basically tells me, and again, I am not a doctor, so I'm going to repeat what he said to me. And this isn't some quack guy. This isn't in his basement. This is a Toronto rehab sports clinic. And he's like, so have you had any cuts or anything anywhere? So I show him the scar, and he's like, well, how'd you get that? And I'm like, well, I was my dad was kind of anal about getting all the boxes into the recycling bin on recycling day. So when I was in grade 8, I was cutting a box of Sunlight. Like, you remember that powder detergent? And I was cutting, cut this. And he's like, well, when did your jaw problem start? And I was like, well, when I was about 15. And he's like, when'd you get the cut? And I was like, 14? And he's like, okay. So apparently there's some nerve damage here that goes all the way up my arm. And it's so amazing how your body's interconnected. And it goes into your neck, and it makes your neck sore. Ridiculous, right? So I had a whole bunch of stuff done for my jaw. I was wearing mouth guards at night, whatever. It still didn't work. There were years on the SDP where I'd sit there and I'd look at Steve and Jesse, and I would have a headache so bad I couldn't see out of my eyes because my jaw was clicking and popping and all that stuff. So the only thing that has ever worked for me is Botox. Your boy gets Botox, but not as like a filler or to stop wrinkles, although I'm very lucky because I'm an oily boy. I don't get a lot of wrinkles. I get Botox in the jaw. And so I go in there, and they're like, okay, clench down. So I clench down, and they feel around, and they go, yep, there it is. And they put Botox in my jaw. And every 6 months I go in, and it's not cheap to do, but let me tell you something. It has changed my entire life. I started getting it in I think 2022. And I went from having headaches every day. I'd wake up every morning with headaches every damn day because I'd be clenching my jaw at night. Mouth guards didn't work, whatever else. And I don't get them anymore. Occasionally I do. But it was every day. It was crazy. So it's been a big change, but yeah. I do click and pop. You will hear that from time to time. It's not TMJ either. TMJ apparently, so it's very interesting. I was talking to a doctor about TMJ, and he's like, 95% of the people that think they have TMJ do not have TMJ. They have something else. And so it's diagnosing the other thing and trying to find rehab ways around it. So, yeah, Botox, by the way, freezes the muscle. And what it does is, so when you clench your jaw, you overdevelop the muscle. So you're like, I don't have abs, but if I had a strong muscle like that was really in shape in my body, it would have been my jaw muscles. They were overdeveloped. And so actually, and you probably can't see this, but I have noticed a change in my face because my jaw used to protrude because my jaw muscles were so overdeveloped from just squeezing them so much. It's crazy, right? And so anyway, long story short, the muscles, it freezes the muscles so they're not able to squeeze as much. You can still eat, you can still smile, you can do anything, but it stops those jaw muscles from clenching so much when you're sleeping or when you're walking around. And I used to just clench my jaw wherever I went. And after a while, the muscle, because of atrophy, becomes less big. It doesn't mean you don't use it. It doesn't mean it's not going to work again. It just means you don't use it as much. And so it becomes like a normal muscle. So over time, you can go longer and longer without the Botox shots. And I've noticed that. It used to be that I'd have to do it quarterly, every 3-4 months. Now I'm doing it every 6 months. It's pretty cool. Did you have your wisdom teeth removed? Yes. Yes, I have. Yeah. Hey, I wonder who's more tired. By the way, I don't feel so bad because this intermission panel for Sportsnet, all these boys look tired. Ben, I was worried about it for you because you need to keep hosting. I know. I feel like this convo is getting interesting. Yeah, listen. I had to I just thought I should tell you. Hey, so we're going to play a clip here. Hayden, what clip are we playing here, buddy? Got it in the chat. Brady. We got a Brady clip for you. I don't know what it's about. I'm too damn tired, but it has to be Brady. We're going to come back and we're going to play the Brady clip. And then we're going to come back and we're going to pick the OT winner together. Just give me a minute. I'm going to go curl up and die. I love you. I'll be right back.
Dude, let's do the Brady roast briefly. That's like a 5-minute thing
here's
we can do.
5 minutes on it.
Yeah.
Here's what I want to ask, because a roast is supposed to be the bottom of the barrel. Like if we did a roast of Steve Dangle, there's going to be 40 jokes about him having a small dick, and like that's what a roast is, right? Like it's like
what?
How do you? Yeah, that's what a roast is. It's like if it was about me, it'd be like you have a failed marriage. You know what I mean? Like there'd be like it's like literally hitting your point.
Wait,
Are you
actually had a divorce though?
Are you going to deny these allegations?
Yes.
What the fuck? Yeah,
well, that's what they do though. That's what there's always small dick jokes. There's
Tom
always
Brady,
bad
they
and
made
bad.
fun of his divorce.
Yeah, and they made fun of his divorce. They made fun of his. There was like a Nikki Glaser just lit him up. But the one that I wanted to talk about, you go in with that expectation. You know you're going to get torched, and you're getting paid a lot to be there too. Let's be honest. In Tom Brady's case, and they did this live, so there was no cutting it. The Comedy Central ones, when they did those, they recorded them, chop them up, and the best jokes make it. Netflix is like, no, let's do it live. And Jeff Ross, who's been a part of like every roast,
Yes.
is a part of it, and he makes a joke about Robert Kraft and the massage thing.
Okay.
And Tom Brady gets up and says,
It was staged.
You think that was staged?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh.
It was either staged to draw the interest into the special, or it's staged so that nobody else made that joke. Like it was either like they set it up beforehand where it's Jeff knows he's going to go up there and make that joke. Tom Brady's going to get upset about it, so they know everybody else following that's not going to get out of line and say that. Or it's staged to the point where he knows he's going to get up and do that, and look, there's controversy, and now people are talking about it. There's no way that's just Tom Brady doesn't know there's a mic in front of him and it's on live TV,
right?
And he's going to get up there and he's going to say that. Like, no.
Meanwhile, like, I'll mention it, but you can Google it for yourselves. Like that's crossing the line. Meanwhile, have Have you ever seen the Jimmy Carr joke about Pete Davidson's dad?
No.
Well, they made a bunch of jokes about Pete Davidson's dad being in 9/11, right? He was
in 9/11.
He was one of the
He
buildings.
died in 9/11.
He died in 9/11. Pete makes jokes about it. And he basically said something like, it was something like, it's a bad,
Okay.
I'm not worried about it.
So there's a bad 9/11 joke about Pete Davidson's dad.
Oh, and it was,
Yeah.
Pete Davidson thought it was hilarious.
So
Well,
what
and
does
this-
what does it have to do with the Tom Brady thing?
Well, I guess it's just, Tom Brady's like, oh, that's crossing the line. Meanwhile, Pete Davidson is like, fucking let her rip. Go for it.
Right.
Yeah. So you think that was staged? Because I didn't.
And
I thought that was Tom being
yeah.
like, no, I'm not gonna accept that.
A little inside baseball to ruin it for everybody. Everything that was like 90% said in the broadcast was on a teleprompter. Like there's a teleprompter.
But that doesn't mean that he would know it's coming.
The joke's written there. Like he knows it's coming and nobody else kind of went there. It was, I think, a thing that Tom Brady either knew to get up and do that in that moment, or it's we're going to do this and then we're going to kibosh anybody else doing it.
So do you think they do that so they can draw attention to the special then? Like it's part of the news
I think
headlines,
Jeff Ross is allowed to go wherever he wants because he's been billed as the master of roasts and he's earned that reputation fairly. And I think you allow him to do that, you cause a little controversy and you move on.
Now, there was some controversy that I saw where apparently Kim Kardashian was booed.
Yeah.
Which, good. But they cut it?
Yeah, Netflix has because the special went up, they did it live, right? And then now that it's on VOD, you can just watch it. The boos are edited out.
Boo.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
I think this is because they want to make sure that they have a relationship with Kim going forward because she's driving a lot of subscriptions for Disney right now, and that contract expires in the next couple of years. They'd sure like to get that show on their network.
It's the executives being like, that would be a cash cow one day.
Yeah.
Let's not ruin that relationship.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we're still doing this. Like,
Are you?
yeah, no, like,
They have to look at it in objective terms. Can they drive subscription
no,
numbers?
but
Great.
like celebrities come and celebrities go, and there's no reason for the celebrity to still be popular other than they're popular.
Yeah, I've heard that.
They don't do anything.
That's always been the case, though.
Yeah,
They're not interesting.
I think they are interesting to a lot of
done
people.
this speech in
Oh, I know.
2016 about the
She
Kardashian.
beat the shit out of one of her sisters in one episode, and I was like, this is the first and only compelling thing you have done in a very long time. Like scratching each other.
They've been around. The Kardashians been around forever. Like,
Yeah, they got their built-in
You got to get
audience.
over that.
Like, yeah, but I just don't get it.
Well, it's not for you.
I don't like
It's not for you. A lot of people enjoy the Kardashians.
like anyone.
Someone in my household does.
Yeah.
It's not me.
Oh.
Yeah. My wife does, too.
What do you go ahead,
what's
Maddie?
that?
Your mic's not on.
So there's a lot of people that just don't get liking sports, Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop yucking people's yum.
Yeah.
No, I want to understand it.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like
I would put it in the same category as reality TV is a scripted. If you know that conspiracy theory that the NFL and all these major leagues are scripted, like that's what reality TV is. That's how it's viewed.
Yeah.
The entertainment value is essentially the same, except it's very scripted.
It's scripted real life.
Yes.
Yeah.
And essentially, the basic tenements of why we love sports so much is the drama, the what if, the what could. That's why. So to me, reality TV and sports are almost the same.
Yeah. I'm
It's
a
just
fan
a
of
very
enough-
different product.
I'm a fan of enough dorky, nerdy shit where I'm not yucking anyone's yum. I just want to understand it.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Wrestling's the greatest reality TV show that's ever existed.
Absolutely.
Yep.
That's how I look at that.
And it's a soap opera.
And it's been going longer than anything else, and it's the biggest reality show media property ever.
Yep.
Like I think it's the same category. And with the Kim Kardashian booing thing, though, I think she 100% Barbara Streisand affected herself in that like now there's more people talking about the booing that they removed it. If I'm her, you leave it in, you move on. But now that they removed it, it's a new tweet. Now it's again. We're all focused
people are
on it.
talking about her.
Now we're talking about they're removing it, so now it's all focused on that. I don't know. So yeah,
I think
A lot of
too,
layers.
the Kardashians have been a bit lagging behind in the publicity lately. If you really pay attention, they actually haven't been a part of the zeitgeist in the
What are
way
you
that
talking
they
about?
have been.
OJ just died.
No, but
Everyone's talking.
even so,
Which is what? Everyone's talking about them. OJ just died.
yeah, that's not really the
That's
pop that
funny.
they're looking for. I don't think.
good line though.
Yeah. I think that's a gotcha line. I don't think that's
No,
true.
I'm dead serious.
I'm dead serious.
I've seen
They're
a lot of
not
people
the same.
talking about them because OJ just died.
And Courtney.
All the stuff where their dad represented them and the one of them.
Yeah,
was
but that's
allegedly his
different
daughter.
than that's different than that's more Kris Jenner related than the girls, right? The younger girls.
Sure.
They're just it's not the same. It's not what it was a couple years ago. And they are working to change that, by the way.
But Kim was at a higher level of celebrity when she was with Kanye.
Yes.
Like whether she likes it or not, like her fame level has taken a step back as that relationship ended and imploded.
Totally.
You know, they were bigger. And same like Kylie, I would say. Well, Kylie's dating Timothy. It's so funny how their worlds revolve around who they're dating, you know, right now. And like her Timothy Chalamet relationship is giving her some great PR.
Yes.
You know, but like fans of him aren't really fans of the relationship, so it's kind of controversial.
All right. I want to talk about this. The fandoms that where they don't like they reject the partner.
People
like
still hate on Hailey Bieber.
like why are we doing this? Like I know you're 14, but like can your parents take your internet privileges? Like what? And yo, I get it till you're like 18 or 19 because the adult brain is not fully developed till you're 25. But like once you hit legal adulthood, you got to stop. You got to stop. I get teenagers. I get it. You don't have a fully developed brain. I get it. But like, it's so weird.
Was it last summer or summer before?
All right, here we go. We had to break in early. I talked too much at the end of the intermission. Here we go. Oh, shoot. Sorry about the clap. There we go. We dropped the puck. And we can't see the score bug, and I can't give you the time because we needed the Subway ad. There we go. Listen. It's 1950 in OT, baby. All right, first off, quick question. Number one, how many OTs do we go? Number two, who is scoring for OT? How many OTs? You better say one. Don't you dare. Also, tell me who's going to score. Yo, by the way, quick question. You guys are here, right? You guys are staying, right? Because we had some people say, no, guys, I got to go to bed. You can't do that. You can't just leave me here. No. We're in this together. We're the hashtag no bed crew. No bed. No bed till we get a resolution. We must know. I don't want to wake up in the morning and watch the highlights. I need to know now. False start, Adam Wylde, 5-yard penalty, 4th down. I know. I'm terrible with the claps. I'm so bad. It also, this is what the thing that drives me nuts is the refs and the linesmen fake dropping the puck. Like, enough. Okay, we got a lot of Connor Garlands. We got Besser, 1 OT, 10 OT Hyman. You know what, Heat? You know what? 1967 OTs. Thanks, Ishlin. Appreciate that. 2 OT, Scory Perry, game-winning goal. That actually kind of makes sense. He's kind of clutch, and he hasn't done a lot tonight. Show the grippers, and then we'll stay. Ishan, stop it. Stop it. There's not 1,000 likes. The grippers don't come out. We don't see feet until we see 1K. All right? Super Potato, no sleep till bedtime. All right. Let's see a goal here. 1921 left in the first overtime. Kyoya says Darnell Nurse, LOL. Yo, it's overtime in the playoffs. Goofy stuff happens all the time. You know this. Allie Quinn with the feet emojis. Allie, you know what's up. Don't you emoji tempt me into bringing the grippers. I'm going to save that for my OnlyFans. Still waiting for the Aurora Borealis. Apparently it's beautiful in Michigan. I follow Ryan Hanna from Winged Wheel, all the Winged Wheel guys. If you're a Detroit fan, that's a great show to check out. Their Aurora is beautiful. But I live in Toronto, and in Toronto, the lights are too bright and you can't see anything. Hoaglander, Pedersen out there. Pedersen's already got a goal, and it was a beauty power play goal. It opened the scoring for them. Hey, Wildman, your Steelers still suck, bro. Todd Young. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to Todd Young. Todd Young's been chirping me about the Steelers since I was like 21 and working at Kiss 92.5 as the evening guy. Todd rules, though. He's a good man, even if his football picks are brutal. I think, Todd, you're a Pats fan, right? Shame. For shame. How dare you cheer for Boston in the presence of Leafs and Canucks fans? How dare you? We are united in our hatred for Boston. Although it's a great city, I'm not going to lie. It's a pretty wicked place to visit. 8 OTs. to get the new record. If we're going to get wacky, it'll have to be McCabe. Nick Pearson, good point. Friends in PEI sent me some amazing pics of the Auroras. I wish you could post pictures in the chat, but I guess that could lead to some bad stuff. That could lead to some really bad stuff. So maybe, yeah. I maybe we're making producer Rob's life in the chat a little bit easier. Nobody needs to see that, whatever people would post. You know what I'm talking about. It's important to note, too, that Edmonton dominated the third period. Vancouver's going to have to figure something out here. I'm interested to see, because they came out flying in the second and third period last game. I'm interested to see what they do here. 17-20 in OT, by the way, if you're looking. Go Ravens, boo the Steelers, and Patriots forever. Mo Bailey. You can't say go Ravens and Patriots. Mo, what are we talking about here? DND, did you see the Padres walk off today? No, I have not watched any baseball this year. My mother-in-law is the biggest Blue Jays fan in the world, watches just about every game, gets super mad starting off in the first inning. Her anger built, and then they win, and she goes, good. She's never actually happy when they win. She's just like, that's the way it should be. Better win tomorrow. I like her bar of like, no, you haven't won anything. Yeah, you won a regular season game. Good for you. You should win those. Leafs need a little of that in their front office. Big Z again. Robert Graham. That's not a bad pick. Zadorov has, 3 goals in 2 games? That's nuts, right? Submitting $2 for Adam's overtime pay. Graham, thank you. I really appreciate it. And listen, as a small business owner, that $2 tip goes a long way for us. We do appreciate it. Come on, still at not at 500 likes. Oh, no, we're at 500 likes, guys. We're actually at 666 likes. You know that number. How many overtimes? 1, 2, or 3? Please no from Robert. I'm going to say 3, and I'm just going to say just for Rob. Just to keep Rob up all night. By the way, Rob told me while I was playing the clip at intermission that he also gets the Botox injections in the jaw. This game is brutal. Drew's Green. I've actually liked this game. This has been a good game. There have been some great goals here. The reffing's been brutal. Reffing's been terrible. Game's been good. And a lot of people would be like, well, that means the reffing's been good. No, reffing's been terrible. This game would probably actually be over if the refs made the right playoff calls. Kelly Sutherland, man. Not a great second period. I have to say, his first and his third, not bad. We're not full haters of the refs here. We got to call it as it is. Phil Hronik to Quinn Hughes. 15:31 in the third remaining. Here we go. We got a fourth line. Miller. Whoop. Oh, Pettersson. Good cover there by, was that Nurse? Damn. Miller, Pettersson. If we get back we're getting back to the lotto line. Hey, Allie Quinn gifted 5 memberships. Allie, thank you so much. I am so excited for you guys all to check out our VIP episodes. They're wicked. They're a lot of fun. And they're non-hockey, which is kind of fun too, because we can do that. People just forget that we used to do that all the time. Cece's going to score. Shoot 6 meters wide and deflect in. Daver, that's a good call. Here we go. Pettersson deep. Ekholm. Here comes McDavid on a rush. They don't disrupt him in the neutral zone. Draisaitl down deep. Back to Bouchard. Oh, no. What a goal. Who did that go off of? Wow, that is not the OT winner I thought we were going to see. Damn. And the air is sucked right out of Rogers Place. Rogers Arena. Oh, my God. By the way, does the winning team in this series get to keep the Rogers on their arena and the other one has to give it up? Damn. Shout out to everybody in the chat who chose Bouchard. Damn. Talk it, take the fine. Okay, so here's what I think's got to happen after the game today. This game is over very likely in the second period, actually, if those penalties are called. Oh, no. Did Ian Cole tip that in? No, did it go off of Ian Cole? Oh, no. Is that what happened? Hold on, I got to see this. Oh, no. It might have gone a little bit. Oh, Ian Cole's had a really rough go. Ooh. Anyway, I want to say this. If you're Rick Tocchet, say the thing. Say the thing. Say the thing. Listen, the Oilers deserve the win. Good for them, whatever. If you're a Canucks fan, if you're an Oilers fan, you should be elated. We got a tied series. If you're a Canucks fan, you should be pissed about the second period. Like, if I was doing a Canucks podcast tomorrow, I would spend an hour on that second period. I'd break it all down. That's rough. I also would have to have a conversation about what to do with Ian Cole. Who else can you play? He's had 2 not great games against this team. He's been exposed a little bit. He was a bit of a factor on offense. A few rushes last game. Noah Juleson, Mark Friedman. You got to limit his ice time. I know they called up half of Abbotsford. Maybe you can start Elias Pettersson. You could have 2 E-Pets. Damn, dude. Wow. What a crazy way for that to end. That's a tough ending for the Canucks. So, hashtag Adam Navy. Thank you, Brian. So here's the deal. To be fair to Ian Cole, he had a nice tip in there. Aaliyah, you're right. It was Todd Young. Hey, bro, does this feel like when the Steelers lost to the Pats last year? You know what, Todd? How dare you be in here at 1:19 a.m. chirping me like this? Canucks are 0-8-1 when Sutherland refs. Get me out. No way. So this is a story. I'm going to talk about this. I want to talk about this Monday on the STP. I want to know who's every team's Achilles heel ref. I should probably talk to Scouting the Refs about this. Who's got the most egregious record as a referee in the playoffs against any team? Kelly Sutherland, 0-8-1. The Vancouver Canucks have never won a game with Kelly Sutherland reffing? Damn. No, you guys don't get grippers. We only got 704 likes. Nice try. Damn, that's rough. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to be back Sunday. I'm going to get my team to bed. Hayden, Robert have both had long days. They're spectacular. Please give them a big shout out and a big applause in the chat. They did a spectacular job tonight. And please thank them because, man, it's hard work doing what they do. And it's really unsung. So they make my job extremely easy. So I just get to sit here and chat with you, which is really cool. So thank you to them. And let me just say that I really appreciate you being here tonight. We're going to be back Sunday for Game 3. We're going back to Edmonton. It's going to be a riot. I hope you'll join me. And I hope we get to have some fun. I think we will. So come on back, SDPN channel, Sunday. And I believe tomorrow night, Jesse Blake will be doing the New York Rangers, Carolina Hurricanes game. So good night, everybody. Love you all very much. Have a fantastic sleep. Series is tied 1-1. I'm hoping for 7 games. How about you?